Yo, PTG fam. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the show. This episode is brought to you by Heal Brand. Heal Brand is the best CBD company that I've ever tried in my life. Tyler feels the same exact way. We love the owners, we love the company, we love the product. They just have amazing stuff. They have some really awesome technology. It's called nanotechnology. What this does is it allows their CBD to break through the cellular wall and get into your bloodstream much faster. Sounds crazy, I know, but it works. Like really works. I've used all sorts of different CBD products. I love CBD. I've always liked the traditional CBDs. I think they work really well. They help me sleep. I don't typically take them during the day. I usually take it right before bed, and it helps me fall asleep and stay asleep, which is a really big issue that I have when I travel. My mind just doesn't really want to turn off. It's hard for me to get a good night's rest. So CBD has been something that's been a staple for quite some time now in my regiment, and this brand has really taken it to the next level. Not only do they have the amazing nanotechnology tinctures, they also have these awesome knockout shots that have 10 milligrams of their nano CBD in them, but they also have like valerian root, melatonin, and other all-natural sleep aids. I love this stuff. Again, leading up to World Cup, I was taking it just about every night. You know, you're supposed to take them almost every other night. I was taking it every night leading up to the event so I could get really good rest, recover really well. We were training extremely hard, and this stuff was just a major boost to everything. It's a boost to my everyday life. Again, sleep is such an important thing. So many people out there are not getting enough sleep. You know, you need between 7 and 8 hours a night, and you know, a lot of people really struggle. And if you are one of those people who have a very busy schedule and you just don't have the time to get 7 or 8 hours, then you want that 5 or 6 hours that you do get to be incredibly valuable. You want it to be really good rest where you reach some sort of deep REM sleep. And Heal Brand CBD helps us do that, so we absolutely love it. You can head over to healbrand.com and use code PLAYTHEGAME at checkout. You'll get a nice little 10% discount. It's an awesome way to support the show, and I think you guys will like it. I really do. You will notice the effects right away. This episode is also brought to you by G2 Paintball. G2 Paintball is an amazing paintball athletics company that is designed to make you a better paintball athlete. I can't stress this enough. Before World Cup, you know, we have always incorporated G2 exercises into our practices, our workout routines, but before World Cup, 3 weeks before the event, we went out to Arizona. There was no layout released yet, and we did a 3-day mini Hell Week G2 training, and it was brutal. It was so tough. It was one of the toughest, most difficult training sessions that I have ever done and been part of, and I really think it helped us go the distance at World Cup. You know, when we were deep into the late rounds on Sunday, I believe we had a competitive edge over our opponents because of how we trained. G2 Paintball is phenomenal. They're based out of Arizona, owned and operated by Dynasty's very own Rusty Glaze and Victor Gamboa. They're doing an awesome job. They have tons of affordable camps out there. And actually, we have partnered with BKI, and we'll be bringing the Combine to you at the end of January in Arizona. So stay tuned for more information on that. But for now, you could head over to g2paintball.com, get all the information that you want. Keep your eyes peeled because, again, we're going to have the Combine that we usually have in Florida every year. It's going to be held in Arizona. It's going to be a collaboration with G2 Paintball. It's going to be a big event. I'll be there. Tyler will be there. Ryan Greenspan will be there, and a bunch of other big names. So stay tuned, and we'll see you there very soon. This episode is also brought to you by Transfuse. You guys already know Transfuse is the business. I don't even think I need to do an ad at this point. They are so good, so great. They make the best products. They truly do. Has everything that you need. All of the major electrolytes, you know, magnesium, potassium, sodium, no sugar, low sugar. It's incredibly good, delicious. Has zinc, choline, vitamin C, over 1,500 milligrams of vitamin C. And it's one of the best products out there as far as hydration goes, because not only is it really good for hydrating your body, it is also a great immune booster. It has cognitive enhancement abilities as well with the vitamin B and the choline. It's just an all-around great product. Again, it tastes amazing. It's really easy to drink. We love it. We've been using it for a while. It was also part of what really helped us during our training for World Cup. Our trainings were incredibly brutal. Like I said, we're out in Arizona. It was 100 degrees, really hot, and we really worked. And I was drinking like 4 or 5 packets a day. That's how much I was sweating. I sweat more than most. You guys heard me talk about it in the past. So finding a good electrolyte supplement has been crucial to my training and preparation for these events. And at World Cup, the whole team, all of Dynasty, was taking it in the weeks leading up to the event and at the event. They also have some really cool new products coming out, some awesome nootropics that you guys are for sure going to like. We've been testing them for a couple months now, actually, and it's just amazing. If you guys like pre-workouts, but you don't quite like the pre-workouts that give you all the jitterness and have a gnarly crash, this is definitely the product for you, because it's just really clean energy. You feel like you're zinging a little bit, and we love it. So keep on the lookout for that. But for now, the electrolyte drink, you can head over to translabs.com. That's tranzlabs.com. Use code PLAYTHEGAME at checkout. You'll get 10% off. They are also offering a really cool extra promotion to where if you subscribe, which means that you get on an auto ship program where they will just ship you your stuff however much you want each month. You don't ever have to deal with the hassle. You get an additional 11% off, so it's 21% off in total. Use code PLAYTHEGAME as well. And you guys are going to love it. Honestly, if you haven't tried it yet and you've heard us talking about it, just give it a shot. If you're a soda drinker, cut out your soda and use Transfuse. It tastes amazing and you're going to feel better. We really do promote people living healthy lifestyles. We want people to feel good every day that they wake up. And a big part of that is not only hydration, but cutting out all the bad stuff as well. Drinks that have a lot of sugar. That's why we don't like Gatorades. They are loaded with sugar. Stuff with things that aren't good for the body. So Transfuse is loaded with everything we need to succeed. And it's a brand that we love and support. And they support us. So again, that's translabs.com. Use code PLAYTHEGAME at checkout. And without further ado, we are going to hop into this episode with Billy Bernacchia. Billy has been one of the top snake players in the league for a long time now. He's been cutting his teeth for years. We both got in the league at the same time, around the same time, back in 06, 07 time. And his story is really fascinating because he's one of the few that came from the East Coast and has really built a massive name for himself. He plays for San Antonio X Factor, as you guys know, has won MVPs and really reached the heights of what this game has to offer. So without further ado, we're going to hop in there. Hope you guys enjoy the show.
That was an insane inside move by Marcelo Margot. Great communication.
And the crowd starts chanting Harmon.
Great shot by all the guys. So Tyler Harmon saved that game.
He came out with 2 wins. Marcelo Margot was on fire.
Billy Bernacchia, friend, foe, constant competitor, legend in the game, one of the best snake players to ever play paintball. What's going on, man? How you doing?
Yeah, Billy.
What's up, brother? I appreciate that.
Dude, never
Well,
the
man.
foe. You're the man.
Hey,
You're
every
the
now
man.
and then, he's on the other side of the field. You know what I mean?
Well,
And-
I mean,
and
yeah,
that's
of
when-
course, every
yeah.
now and then is like literally a couple days ago.
Yeah. Sometimes on your side of the field, but
Yeah.
More times than not, huh? That's usually
Seriously.
where you like to live.
Yeah.
that's it. So,
Run them down. That's the motto, dude. Always.
Mm-hmm. What's been going on, dude? What have you been up to?
just living life. Taking a little break right now after World Cup. From traveling and trying to, do our best to stay quarantined and safe. My girlfriend and I are both working from home, so
Yeah.
it
What's
is what
been
it is
like
right
out
now.
there?
It's
You're
just it's just a
what city are
weird
you
world
coming
right
from?
now.
Like, so that everybody knows what city you're living in,
Yeah.
like where you're from.
Yeah, so I live in Connecticut, so New Haven County. It's, our numbers were actually really good, and now they're starting to get a little crazy again. So they're kind of, they closed down the bars again down to, I think they're closing at 9 p.m.
Yeah.
And, restaurants are getting more strict, and, it's just kind of turning into a mess again. So
Yeah.
we're doing our best to stay safe. But it is what it is right now. I mean, I'm working mainly from home, out and about a little bit, but
Yeah.
What do
Yeah,
you do?
so I work in the electrical industry and the solar industry as well. I work in for a distribution center, and I do sales for them.
Beautiful.
Yep.
Yeah, dude. I know it's a common theme across the country, I think, right now, what you're talking about. And You know, obviously we're all kind of have PTSD from the first go around of this whole thing. So
Mm-hmm.
we're just
Yeah.
hoping that everything goes well for sure.
I know, like being able to go to Texas for practice and World Cup was kind of like a tease, like, all right, we're back to normal. And then we get home and then the numbers start going up again. And it's like,
Yeah.
just kidding. But luckily
Yeah.
we were able to, you know, finish the season out with World Cup, which was awesome. And it seems like, you know, it went well. I haven't heard of
Yeah.
any crazy cases or any
Mhm.
outbreaks going on. So, you know, props to the NXL for, you know, keeping everybody safe and doing what they needed to do to run the event.
Yeah, man, that was such a, oh my God, what a miracle that we were able to even have that tournament.
I know.
I thought this
Totally.
whole season was shot. And
Yeah.
we had Tom on the show earlier in the year, and he was like, boys, I'm gonna do my damnedest to make sure that if it's safe enough and we can do it, that we're gonna put on a show. And they put on a great one. So thank you, NXL and Go Sports, my fan wagon, everybody that puts on that amazing show that we were able to have fun with out there.
Yeah,
Totally.
absolutely.
I mean, it's was so interesting, you know, it's such a long time of almost basically an off season, you know, and then it was like we rallied really quick, had a couple weeks to prepare for World Cup, it ramped up again like a normal season, and now we're kind of back in the off season waiting to see what happens for next year.
Yeah. And it's crazy because, you know, local paintball kept going and, you know,
Right.
Marcelo knows enough that we got to kind of live through the kids in our area and become coaches. And because we're not obviously not allowed to play in the local stuff. So, you know, we were living through these guys trying to get our fix of paintball, which was, you know, it was an awesome, you know, time consuming thing. It was fun.
Absolutely.
We had a blast.
Yeah.
Dude, so much fun.
Billy and I battled out on the East Coast at Matt's Outback. You won that battle with your team Power. You know, you guys won.
They won that battle, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
But
those
no,
guys earned it, man. They worked their ass off this year, and you know, I kind of came into it, and you know, I asked them, you know, what do you guys want out of this? I mean, are you guys a boys club that just, you know, want to hang out with the boys and play paintball, have a good time, or are you like looking to get competitive and play nationals and win nationals and go through the ranks? Because whatever you want, I'm here to help you guys. And you know, they want to be serious, they want to, you know, put a competitive team out there. So I had the guys there early in the morning, 6 a.m. at the field doing drills, and
there we go.
I mean, the results showed. I mean, they kicked ass this year, so I'm proud of those guys.
And just so, because I'm not really fully aware, what league was that, and what's the team that you're talking about there?
So the team I coach is CWE Power. They're out of Matt's Outback in Coventry, Connecticut. The league is the OPS, the Outback Paintball Series.
There we go.
And
shout out.
Yeah, and Marcelo's team is New York Wrecking Crew, another awesome group of guys. You know, I was lucky enough to actually meet them this year and, you know, build a relationship with some of those guys, and they're solid dudes too. So
yeah, what a gift, man. What a gift.
Both of those teams work really hard. They take it serious. And I like, Billy, that's what you asked, you know, when you went into it. Are you guys just trying to have a good time, or are you trying to really win? Because there's a different type of preparation that it takes to reach the higher ranks, you know, and some divisional teams don't really understand that. And so when I coach a team too, it's the same thing I asked Wrecking Crew. I was like, well, how serious do you want to be? Because that matters to me. You know, if I'm going to get involved, it's because we're going to do it the right way. And they absolutely have, you know, done that. And, you know, it's Tyler, you know, I go out to New York quite a bit. It's always to coach the team that plays in the same league as Billy's team. And that's actually, Billy, that's your home field too, right?
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah. So like what I really like that you started doing this year was those Wednesday night things, Wednesday night drill nights with players. You know, I think stuff like that is so important. We talk about it on the show all the time, different pros getting out to the local field, you know, and interacting with the culture there, you know, because you know,
we've actually been doing that for a decent amount of time. Me and Josh Pike started it a few years ago, and I didn't actually do it last year, but this year I brought it back, and we were getting like 50 to 60 people on a Wednesday night, photographers filming the practices. I mean, it was insane. It was literally like a weekend of paintball. And I mean, it was just good for me because I'm stuck quarantined all week. So to get out in the middle of a Wednesday, it was awesome. So shout out to all my Wednesday night guys.
That's the
they also
best.
killed it this year, and I think they all walked away with something after the season.
Did anybody on Power come to your Wednesday night trainings?
Yeah. Oh yeah. A couple
Billy
of the
Bob?
guys were there every Wednesday night. Billy Bob was there every
Yeah, of
single
course he
Wednesday
was.
night.
That kid's a savage, dude.
It's my guy.
Tyler, I don't actually know if he's a kid. I don't know how old he is, but he's a beast.
He's 19.
He's
Yeah.
19. He is a kid.
19,
Damn.
man.
Yeah, this
I
kid.
mean, he's only been playing a couple of years, and Ryan Brand flew out last year or the year before, and Billy Bob had just started and took our clinic, and I remembered him, and he came out, he got picked up by Power. He wasn't really playing as much because he was kind of the newer guy.
Mhm.
And as soon as I started coaching for them, he became one of our top 5 guys like that. I mean, he's just a savage
Soaks
out
it
there.
in. Yeah.
He sees the field so well for a young kid, and it's awesome, man.
Tyler,
it's awesome to see him, grow as a paintball player as I'm teaching him.
Totally. Tyler, you were talking about this on the show with Steven. It's really hard to teach aggression, This kid just kind of has that. He wants to go fuck people up. He wants to bump people.
I love that.
Stop.
Yep.
Like we have to constantly put guns on him.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, push
It's
the field,
awesome
baby.
because he's probably the slowest player on our team.
He is,
but
too.
He's the most aggressive player on our team.
Dude, that's rad.
It's awesome.
Wednesday nights are how I cut my teeth. When I was coming up, I would play with like Rich Telford and Dave Baines. I'm just going to apologize to all the listeners right now, because for the first couple minutes, I didn't have my headphones on and the speakers were just, shooting out the sound to me. So you're probably going to get a little echo for the first couple minutes there.
Yeah, I think it's going to be fine. Nobody even noticed. I saw it. Like, keep it rolling, baby.
Oh, man. But Wednesday nights are how, like, that's how I got my really good skill set going, and my fix. Like during the week, all I think about is paintball. So the fact that Rich Telford, Dave Baines, and like Thomas Taylor, when he first got on Excessive, they would all go out to Modesto and we would just run like 3-on-3s or 4-on-4s. Anything you can do to play more paintball, you should take advantage of that. If it's a Wednesday night, if you have any possible way that you can get out, shoot your gun or emulate those moves or do anything to keep you prepared for the weekend, you need to be doing that during the week.
Dude, absolutely. It's how I got my career started. Before I played for or got picked up for San Diego Aftermath, when Mike Kimnon was putting that team together, I had my own team called Die Kids. We were just playing the rookie division in a local series. But every Wednesday night, I would go up to this little field called Adrenaline. It was about an hour away.
Yeah.
It was in a outdoor roller rink, right? But with a bunch of gravel as the ground.
Awesome.
That was, it was the worst stuff to play on. Honestly, it was terrible to play on. But every time we'd go out there, I think Mike played for Aftershock at the time. Maybe he had just joined Dynasty. I think he had just joined Dynasty actually. But like Mini Mike would be out there, Fish, all those dudes. Wow. And we'd be out there.
I haven't heard in a while.
Long time, and I'd be out there every Wednesday at like 12, 13 years old. And they would be there. I'd be like, hey, can I get any points with you guys? Can we play? Totally. And that's how Mike found out who I was. And that is why he ended up calling me when he wanted to put that Aftermath team together. Yeah. So it's like,
you got to be persistent.
You got to be persistent.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You got to want to play paintball. I mean, you got to want to get out there. For sure. I got a good story for you. I started in high school, and on, I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday nights, there was a local redemption center that set up paintball, and their field was a dark warehouse, right? And They had pallets of, bottles and boxes of like Bud Light, and bags of cans and stuff. And they made bunkers out of it in this big warehouse. And you're only allowed to use 20 balls, right?
Whoa.
So we would show up every Tuesday or Wednesday, and this place got huge. And this is where I met like Bart and Matt Blonsky. They used to play there.
Brothers, yeah.
Yep. Shout out to the Blonskis. I don't know if you remember Nicky Foglia, who played on the Hurricanes with us. He used to play there. And it was just such a cool place that, it was kind of like, a tight group. It's always like the same people every week.
Of course.
And we would just go out in this cold, dark warehouse, hiding behind, bottles and cans, and again, running around with 20 paintballs, shooting each other. I mean, and it was a blast. And,
what year was that in?
2001.
Yeah. So you guys were shooting, what were you shooting then?
So I started with Tipman. Most people had mags, auto mags in there.
Yeah.
But I started with the Tipman.
Same here. I was the
Probably
Tipman.
upgraded to the autococker after that.
Yeah.
And like my favorite gun ever was my Black Magic autococker. It was like my first like nice gun I ever got.
Dude, that thing shot
I remember
darts.
those things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
They still do. I have a free flow autococker that just shoots so straight. It's crazy to me, like the trajectory on those guns. They do shoot incredibly straight. They don't have as much drop, you know.
At that time too, if you had an autococker or you were playing someone that had an autococker and you had something that was not an autococker, you could tell the difference. You know, you're like, oh boy, that one's coming in hot. You know, those shots are coming in straight. So it was a big advantage. Like the guns I feel like are pretty leveled out now, you know. But at that time, it was a huge advantage with like what kind of gun you were shooting, you know.
Yeah, agreed.
Totally. Is absolutely. I remember this one time I went to a field up north by my brother's house, about 3 hours away in Thousand Oaks. And this guy had an Angel. It was a Dark Angel at the time, which when those came out were the business. I mean, they shot faster than everything else. I think I might have still had an autococker, or maybe I didn't even get that far yet. I might have still had my Spider Shutter that had this sweet blue one.
There we go.
But this guy shot me in the neck so bad from really close that I'm just like 11 years old, you know. I was probably crying, freaked out. But I remember he let me shoot the gun, and I felt invincible with it because it was so fast. It was just like, oh, you could just shoot ropes, you know. They were so fast.
Game changer.
Game changer for sure. So he was out there running around with that thing, playing against players like me that were just tink, 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 you know. Big difference.
Hey, but it made you better, you know. Makes you better.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is true. So kind of walk us through how you got into paintball. Like obviously you've grown up on the East Coast, and you've made one hell of a name for yourself playing out of the East Coast. I've been playing against you since I was, you know,
crazy,
12 years old. I don't know, maybe even younger, because I was on Twisted Factory when you were on the Hurricane.
Oh shit, I actually didn't know that.
Yeah, so I've been playing against you forever. You and Mantoni.
That's funny.
Yeah, dude. So I want to just get your grassroots and kind of hear where you started at. What was your first time playing paintball, your local field? How did you fall in love with paintball and have it progress?
His first time was at the Redemption Factory.
That's when I started getting serious into it. So I grew up. We had a lot of woods and on our property, so some of my neighbors were a little bit older than me, and they all had paintball guns, so they were always running around in the woods playing. And
nice. My
buddy and I would kind of like, you know, go out there and try to like watch and be like, what the fuck are these guys doing? Oh, they're playing paintball. That's awesome. We'd watch. And then whenever they'd see us, they were older, so they'd start shooting at us, and we'd just run home. And I remember I was like telling my father about it, and next thing you know, he took me to the local store and bought me a gun. So he's like, shoot back at him now, you know. So I started just, you know, messing around in the woods, having fun, and then I found that Redemption Center, started playing there. That's when I met the Bolonskis and Nikki, and they turned me on to Hogan's Alley. And I started playing, you know, learning airball and hyperball, and just got addicted from there. I mean, we started some small local teams. The first tournament I ever played with was with Matt Derula. And we started this local team, and then we kind of merged with another team to create the Hogan's Alley Factory team. And then just never looked back, man. Just kept going with it.
Dude, how addicting is that feeling? I still remember, you know, in Modesto playing on these airball fields with the piping in the ground and everything. And like, just, I'll never forget going from the hyperball. You know, I started in the woods, started playing hyperball. And then once I found airball, it was like, boom, I was just completely hooked from that moment on. And it's just so addicting, dude.
It was crazy because I remember when I watched Push for the first time, and I'd only been, you know, on the airball field once or twice, and watching Push, I was like, oh, I've played a field like that. I've played a field like that. And, you know, it just wanted I just wanted to go play more. I just wanted to keep going. I wanted to bunker people. I wanted to jump over bunkers. I wanted that feeling.
Rocky Cagnoni.
I loved it, man. I loved shout out Rocky Cagnoni.
Yeah.
Damn. So was Rocky your first snake? Rush. Was he your first idol on the snake side?
I guess I never thought of that, but I guess so.
Yeah,
I guess so.
What a legend.
yeah.
I got to stay with
God.
that pirate at his house in Florida one time
I
with
did
Bobby.
too one time.
Dude, with Bobby Avilas, it was the best time ever. Shout out to Rocky. He's the
Shout out.
best.
We got to get him on the
Yeah,
show.
Rocky's
Actually, that's a
Oh,
There you
legend.
go. That'd be a good
Are you
one.
kidding?
Dude,
Such
Land
a
Pirate.
timeless. Yep.
Yeah, he's the best.
He's
Extra cheese. I want it melted. I want it melted.
If you guys
Never
haven't
live
seen
that one
multiple
down,
videos,
man.
you got to go watch them. We talk about this all the time.
Yeah.
I wish there was more like nostalgic type videos like that.
Yeah.
It's like we have all these mashup videos that are really cool and hip to the times. But those videos, I think, just the way they are choreographed and the music makes them resonate with you a whole lot differently than some
You
of the
felt like
videos we have.
You knew them.
today.
You knew them.
Yeah,
After you
yeah,
watched
yeah,
that movie,
totally.
I felt like they were my friends. Like
Yeah,
I knew,
right.
you know, we need to
Yeah.
put out content like that where you know us, like it's us just being us, just you know,
Right.
like they were just shooting the shit, having fun, playing paintball,
Mhm.
grilling cheeseburgers, swimming at the pool together, you know, like that real family lifestyle. And I think that we definitely need more of that. That's right. dude.
Totally.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
We
like
gotta-
one of the best parts of the game, you know?
Yeah, just vibing and hanging out with each other and just enjoying the process of playing paintball, being pro paintball players with your brothers. We all have a brotherhood, and that it's like these timeless memories that we'll cherish for our whole entire lives. You know, after this is all gone, is all those memories of the brotherhoods and you know the sisterhood. Everybody that's a part of paintball and this amazing thing that we get to do. It's crazy.
Absolutely, man. It's a tight community, and it's cool that, you know, the majority of us are pretty close and good friends, and, you know, friend or
Yeah.
foe, like Marcelo was saying in the beginning, you know,
Yeah.
we're all in the paintball family, you know?
That's right, dude.
So
It's
That's
only
right.
foe. It's only
a good
foe on the
community.
field. You know how
Yeah.
it goes.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah.
So, yeah.
Paintball's crazy, man. Like I would never know you, Billy. I would
I know.
never,
Yeah.
I would, you know, we would never
Right?
know all these people around the world that we're so
Crazy.
fortunate to have relationships with now. And now, you know, you're on the verge of locking down a Lacoste headband deal. I mean, we got big things coming
Let's
in the
go.
future. It's happening.
Yeah,
dude.
I don't see how they have not sponsored you yet. You've promoted them to millions of people for over a decade, you know? So I think it's about time they come in and give you
I agree, you know, and we started our rally, so
yeah,
I think
I
we're
like
gonna see
it.
some results soon.
I
And
like
Everybody
their
out
inbox
there.
got cluttered.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hit them up, let them know. Billy, actually I have there's some people, I put a little feeler out on the Instagram and they had some questions. You know, have you ever washed your headband? The people want to know. This is from Elk Hound. He wants to know if you've
God.
ever washed it.
Yeah. After
After every time I play.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
That's
sucks
funny.
because
Does it
honestly,
look that grimy?
the
Is it
more you
that
watch
bad
it, the
looking?
more they kind of like, yeah.
Yeah.
The more you
It's-
watch it, the more it kind of like comes apart. But
Yeah.
I mean, you got to wash it.
Yeah.
It's funny. When I was younger, I wouldn't wash my gear the whole weekend. I would go play Saturday, Sunday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't wash it. You know,
Yeah.
now I have to wash my gear after every day.
It's crazy how
Like,
much of prima donnas we've become
Yeah.
the older we get.
For
Because
sure.
when we were younger, we
For
didn't
sure.
care about sharing beds in a hotel. We didn't care about,
nothing.
Yeah.
you know, washing our stuff. We just wanted to go play and be
That's right.
dirty and have fun. Now it's like the first thing we do, like, oh, who's getting soap? You know, as soon as
Yeah,
you get back to the hotel, who's getting the
exactly.
laundry soap?
I'll never
Dude.
forget
Crazy.
the first national event that I played was with Aftermath in 2005. It was that Pomona
Yeah.
Open. Were you there, Billy? Were you Tyler? I know you were there. You were with
Probably.
the Oakland
Yeah.
Assassins. It was pouring rain. The like one of the rainiest events that we've ever played in.
Yep.
2005.
Okay.
Like
Yep.
played it in the
Definitely
dark.
was there.
And we had 4 or 5 people to a room, and we were staying at like this little shoddy Motel 6 or something.
Bro.
Yeah, bro.
Yep.
And it was muddy, freezing,
Oh.
shitty, but we didn't
And
care.
you probably
We didn't
had the
care.
best time of your
Yeah,
life.
exactly. We lug all our stuff back into the room. It's all dirty. We didn't wash it. You know,
Yeah.
it's full of mud. Just keep it in the gear bag. Room stinks. There's mud everywhere. Like, I
That
don't
was
think
just the
that's
way
what
it
kids.
was.
Yeah, it was the way it was. I don't think kids realize that these days. You know, like we all the current pros that are in the upper echelon, I guess you could say, and it's really you're in the upper echelon because you have the experience. We've been playing the game for a long time. So the only reason you're there is because you've been there for a long time. And back in the day, we had to cut our teeth the hard way, you know? And so now we
It was
might be
grimy.
Madonnas, but we spent a lot of time like in the grime doing
Yeah.
it that way. And I think that's crucial to your growth, actually. I mean, we talk about it all the time, Tyler, but Billy, I know you're from the East Coast. I'm sure you agree, you know, like like you got to have those kind of gritty, grimy times. Otherwise you're soft.
I agree.
Yeah.
And I think, kids nowadays are spoiled with all the clinics that the
Yeah.
pros do and all the
Yeah.
like how involved we are. Like I'm all about growing the sport, and I'm all about being at my local field and helping people get better. When I was a kid, whew, okay, same field as a pro, you never wanted to be on the field again. I mean, we used to travel to New York to play against these guys, and like I'd play against Nicky Cuba all the time. I'd play,
yeah.
I mean, and man, those guys just wanted to let you know why they were pro.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's like
Yeah.
we want to be friends with these kids. We want
That's
to,
true.
teach them our secrets and whatnot. The
Damn,
other guys
crazy.
just wanted to let you know. It's
I never
crazy.
looked at it that way.
It's a completely different time.
Yeah.
I'm sure
Damn,
you
you're
guys, experienced some, with pros in California.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No,
it's,
you're right, dude. It's a completely different paradigm right now. And it all has to do with telecom, right? Before, nobody was going to get them on Instagram doing whatever they're doing. But now it's like, you have to be held accountable. And there was not very much, there wasn't really a checks and balances type system back then. It was just kind of like, you go out there, you're going to get messed up. You're going to get rocked by these pros. They're going to yell at you. They're going to belittle you. They're going to, it's like, it was a whole different ball game. But
oh man, I hated playing it. I mean, I loved it just because I got the experience, but I hated going up to New York, practicing New York Extreme back in the day with all the old school guys. I mean, those guys, they just wanted to shoot the shit out of you. And even if you shot them, they weren't, they're not coming off the field, they're not going to give you the respect or let you think you could shoot them. They didn't care. But hey, it made me a player.
Me too.
Just, getting that experience and getting that, hard love,
Well, totally. It's like with your kids too. You don't want your kids to have it too easy. You know what I mean? So even me, I'm the nicest guy ever, but I'm also going to make you earn it too. When you're out there, if we're playing, you're going to earn it. And, it's not going to come easy, and it shouldn't, because you'd be teaching them the wrong things if you did it that way. So we have to do our best to carry on that type of heritage as well, and make sure that, we keep these people in check and make them work a little bit for it and have some fun.
I so agree. It's like the whole culture has changed just across the board in all sports. I like that you brought up parenting, because it really, that's kind of where it stems from too. My dad was 80 years old when he passed last year. He was an old man, like he came from a different time. And so I was raised different than all my friends, but I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Yeah.
The way he was, how hard he was on me is like really what has made me the type of person I am today. And I look at some of my friends and I know that they can't say the same, like they're not proud of the kind of things that I'm able to be proud of, as far as like morals and self-respect and the type of, work ethic that it takes to achieve something. Because kids nowadays are handed stuff or just not really told the right way. Like when they do something wrong, they mess up, and you just get away with so much now. And it's strange to me that it's such a controversial topic, because you just have to look at results sometimes too. Like the results that we're getting is not great, and we've just become a really soft society in many ways, and I understand there's certain room for softening up some of the stuff, sure, but in so many things and across sports, and we see it all the time when we go to clinics. There's so many times where it's like you're never going to make it with that mindset, like you can tell almost right away in a player. It's like,
that's what it is right there, Marcelo.
It's the mindset, it's the mindset that those types of teaching and either coddling or being harsh, like those all mold certain mindsets. And the type of player you want is a player that has a mindset that can handle the worst of the worst, right? That's the only type of player that you want on your team. It's probably the only type of person you want in a relationship, someone that when their back's against the wall, they're going to be resilient instead of run away. If they're in business, they're going to be resilient instead of run away when things are tough, it's a
no, you're 100% right
thing,
Yep. You got to have that gear. It's a different gear.
Different gear, man, for sure.
It hurts. That gear hurts. It's not supposed to be an easy one, but it's a necessary one.
Right. It's weird. It's like you don't want to take away all of the pain from life, because the pain brings joy, it brings learning, it brings pleasure, So if we try to put, cushions around everything, I just don't.
It's going to hurt us.
Yeah. I think it hurts us for sure.
For sure, dude.
Yeah.
All right, so I want to dip back into the
Yes.
heritage of Billy Bernacchia. Tell me how you got into like tournament ball and getting really serious, and then how I ended up on the other side of the field from you playing on Twisted Factory. Dude, how did that whole thing come to fruition with the Hurricanes? And I want to start ripping into the early years of your story
All
here.
right.
Absolutely.
All right. Let's dive into it.
Yeah.
So, like I said from before, we had a couple of local teams. One of them was called Wired. One of them was Backlash, and we kind of combined them to create Hogan's Alley Factory. Right.
Yeah.
So we started in 2003. We played 10-man, and then that was when X-Ball had just started, getting introduced. So as soon as we kind of got the feel for it, we jumped right away and said we want to play X-Ball.
Yeah.
And when we went over to X-Ball, we ended up picking up a couple of the Hurricanes players. Rob Landry, I think, was the first one that we grabbed, and that's kind of how I got recognized by the Hurricanes. We grabbed him because they were local and we were all playing together. And Rob had, introduced me to Jeff Stein, who then watched us play and asked me to come out for a trial.
Was he smoking a cigar when you first?
Absolutely, at least two
maybe
at
two.
a time, maybe.
Dude, I will never forget being like 12 years old and probably at the tournament that you're talking about, and like just him just blowing back cigars like a madman. And I just saw him out in Boston for the combine recently.
He's still doing it, baby.
Still throws him down. He's a legend. Dude. He's so funny.
He is a legend. Yeah, he's done a lot for the sport and a lot for New England paintball. So definitely,
yeah.
So that was the end of that was 2004, and 2005 is when Jeff had asked me to come to the Hurricanes. So I played. My first event with them was Tampa 2005, and I had a good event with them. So they decided to keep me. I think we beat Dynasty our first time ever playing them, so it was like legendary. It's like on a Trauma Head video, so it's something that I'll like always remember.
Legend.
Yeah, and I mean that's how the Hurricanes thing started, and then I kind of wanted to go explore other options and start meeting new people and getting my name out there. And so I left the Hurricanes after one season, and I joined Arsenal.
That's right.
It was only for maybe 2 events.
What year was that you joined Arsenal?
2006.
Okay.
So I played the full year 2005 with the Hurricanes and ended the year off with the Miami ESPN event.
That's right.
And then after that, Tom Four and JC Whittington offered me a spot on Arsenal.
Dude, that team was huge at the time.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a solid team. I mean, we didn't get the best results when I was on the team, but it was the experience of, being able to fly out to Cali and practice against, good teams. Yeah. And, stay out there for a month at a time. I think we stayed at the Whittier house and practiced they had a field in the backyard, and we played, I think, every single day we were there.
Wow.
So it was wild. Yeah.
What a luxury that is. Not every paintball player can say that they've, lived that life. And on the East Coast, you're pretty much like a staple for professional paintball players on the East Coast as to what people are trying to strive to be like, man. Because and it didn't happen overnight. Obviously, you've been in the game for a long time. We've all been in the game for a long time. So the number one thing is you just never give up and you just stay persistent and you enjoy what you do. You obviously love paintball. You know what I mean? Yep. When your heart is in it, you're going to be successful and you're going to get opportunities to fly to California and play paintball for 30 days straight.
And I was always someone who took advantage of opportunities. I played for Arsenal. I played for Doc's Raiders, who also had the same mindset. And, I was able to practice good teams down in Florida. And I never turned away good opportunities to help my career. Selfishly, I, left my friends that I was playing with. And I really, that was a tough decision to leave the Hurricanes. I mean, those guys brought me into the pro league. And, I had personal relationships with all of them. So it was a hard decision, but in my opinion, looking back now, it was the right decision. So
Yeah.
sometimes you got to make the tough decisions, and in the end, it works out.
I want to pick your brain on that, because I know there's a lot of listeners that go through that right there. Like they don't know how to do that. And I think that what you're telling me is you knew where you were headed. You knew
Exactly
where you were going. You didn't have to play all these mind games with yourself and have all this other stuff attached to it. You knew where you were going, and you were going there. And if you want to support me, thank you. If you don't, thank you. You know what I mean? It's like you have a clear vision and you attacked it. And I think that's huge. But tell me how hard that was. Like, what was that experience like going through that?
It was tough because, the Hurricanes knew I was approached by other teams, and, you get a phone call from this guy and that guy and everybody on the team trying to, convince you to stay. And at that point, you kind of just shut your phone off and you just make your decision yourself. And, no matter what decision you make, it's going to affect somebody else. So you kind of just have to do what's best for you. And yeah, it's tough. It's real tough because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know if you're going to lose those friendships. You don't know if you're making the right decision, but
yeah, you better do good when you go
like
there.
you said, if you're smart and you know the path you want to go down, and you see the tunnel at the end of the light at the end of the tunnel, you just got to do it. You got to go through it, and it's tough, but it works.
Yeah,
but,
and you're right.
If again, had I not done that, I would have never gotten the experience to go out and practice in Cali and practice in Florida and meet all the people that I've met and make a name for myself. I mean, in New England, we're kind of stuck in this small, little paintball world where we don't play in the winter because there's snow. I mean, we play in indoors, and it's tough for us to get a good practice and show up in the first event of the season and be competitive after playing indoors, so.
Yeah, that's we've heard that for like as long as I've been playing paintball, and it is difficult because you don't have like typically in the indoor it's not a full size field. They're typically a little bit smaller, and what you really dial in on, and I will say East Coasters, some of y'all like you, Bill, you got good gunfighting skills because you're in there in the dungeon just gunfighting all day long, which is definitely fundamental. And then the hardest part is really the team aspect, getting everybody together to be on the same page with the same common vision. That's where
and preparing for a layout, you're
totally
supposed to show up to Las Vegas, you're a divisional team from the East Coast, and you haven't had a chance to play outdoors on a full-size field on the layout for weeks. That's tough for sure. It's tough.
Really tough.
I'm only really familiar with it because of the teams that I've coached from over there. They've broken down to me. I'm like, damn, I never even realized how lucky we are. I mean, we get to play 365 days a year pretty much. Might get a little bit of rain, a little wet, maybe a little hot sometimes.
in Arizona, you just have to start at 5 a.m. That's
there you go. I mean, the biggest thing too in indoors is the communication's not the same because of the echoes, and it's hard to hear each other, and the guns are louder and whatnot. So
that too. Now, paintball. Sorry, Ty, real quick though. Paintball could be done indoors if you had one of those massive like steel structure places without the beams, and it would just cost a lot of money, but then it would eliminate a lot of that echo, the noise issues, the lighting issues. It's just no indoor field has done that yet. Anthony with Boston Paintball has done a great job. That's probably one of the best.
He's probably got the best indoor that I've ever been to. I've been to some out of the country, in the country. I've been all around.
Absolutely.
I mean, he's got the best one by far.
Absolutely. It's clean. That's something you don't get when you go to indoor fields often is cleanliness. It's like really grimy. The turf is just filled with muck. His field is really nice, but it's not a regulation field, right? You can't get a legitimate professional team practice there on the weekends. You could go have fun, and that's what I think his goal with that facility is in the first place. But, for those teams, on the East Coast, I'm sure if someone were to open a massive indoor facility that could host like real practices on a layout, it'd probably do very well.
Once upon a time, Matt's Outback did have a huge bubble dome, which was pretty awesome.
No way.
But he got shut down.
Wait, what? Oh, yeah, that's so funny. He's constantly building stuff there. That's like, I'm like,
He
that's
just
definitely doesn't have. That's not up to code at all.
Yeah, that had to come down, but
Damn.
That's
yeah,
funny.
once
What did he
upon a
do?
time, it
What
was
did he
pretty
do there?
badass. There was this big bubble dome, and I mean, he had heaters in there and everything, and it was just it was normal.
What was the material of the dome?
It was like this like thick rubber, like
Oh, no
thick
way.
rubber,
What?
like I don't know. Well, you guys are from Cali, but you know,
I've
like
seen
what they
these.
put over like pools in the winter and
Yeah.
stuff, and yeah,
Whoa. Okay.
yeah,
I've never seen
it was
that.
sick.
I think the Russians have a really great indoor system. Like the videos I see of
Yeah,
their
right.
facility inside looks amazing. They don't have any of the
Mhm.
poles. I think it's one of those huge, like it looks almost like a padded
Yeah,
dome.
It's not a
that's
full-size
exactly
field
what
though,
it is.
still.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, what they
No.
have, if you see, it's always like half field. They don't
Right,
have
right.
enough room for. But that is like that's you just make that a little bigger and that's it. That's the
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's the
Tom
game
had a
right there.
full size field, but
That's
he
tight.
just had to take it down.
Tom is the man, dude. What a
Yeah,
cool dude.
he's
What a cool
something
guy.
else.
Yeah. Shout out to Matt's
Yeah.
Outback over there.
So Billy, is X Factor the longest that you've played for an organization, or what team
Yep.
have you been with for the longest?
X Factor.
There we go, dude.
Yeah.
What an experience that's been, huh? What a great camp you
Oh
got.
yeah. Yeah.
Kind of walk
One of the
me
best.
through, dude, hands down.
One of the best.
Top five. You guys are, top
Mhm.
top of the game. You guys have heart, you got passion, you got family, you got all the ingredients that go into top level team. And me and Mark, we talk about you guys all the time. We love X Factor, and
Yeah.
there's only a couple teams that I have that type of respect for, and your guys' organization is definitely one of them.
Appreciate
I want to
that.
know. So lead us into your journey into X Factor and kind of how you
Mhm.
ended up there.
So I was with Avalanche at the time, and I wasn't playing X Ball. I don't think I can't really remember. It was so long ago. I think Avalanche was about to create an X Ball team, and because they were already a 7-man team, and Archie had texted me and said, "Hey, like, what are you doing next season?" And Archie and I had a relationship because we actually played on Dynasty.
On Dynasty,
together.
exactly. I was gonna say
that's how
Yep.
yeah. So I mean, that's how I met Archie. Well, I always knew Archie, but obviously, like, we became closer playing on the same team, and we played the same side. And so he had texted me and said, "Hey, man, like, Alex is doing these tryouts, and I mentioned your name. He's like, I know you'll make it, and he's like, Alex wants to buy you a ticket out here and just come show us what you got."
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. I was like, fuck it, let's do
Dude,
it. So actually,
Alex is the man, dude.
Alex is the man. I mean, like, he's like family now. Like,
I know.
for me, like,
shout out to the barbecue.
We'll talk about that more. Yeah.
Shout out to the barbecue, baby.
Shout out to the
There you go.
It is funny because, like, when you first went to the team, sorry, we'll jump right back into what you're saying, but when you first went to X Factor, it was like you were definitely like the odd man out, in from New England, right? But now, like, you don't say X Factor without Billy Bernacchia. You really don't. Honestly, I'm sure majority of the listeners have no idea that you ever played for another team,
which is crazy. Because there's so many teams that he's played for that you can say that about, like Doc's Raiders, another team. When you said Doc's Raiders, you thought Billy Bernacchia, and the Hurricanes. When you said Hurricanes,
that Billy Sonny.
So dude, you've always been a front runner for the teams that you go on to. And I know I kind of jumped ahead into X Factor. I do want to dip back here in a second and talk about the Dynasty and that whole experience as well. But we'll keep you going where you're at with meeting Archie and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So Archie hit me up and said, Al wants to fly you in. Show us what you got. He's like, I think you can make the team. We're going all in this year. They had just hired Ryan Brand as coach. So we kind of came at the same time, and I went out there, and Eclipse actually filmed the whole thing.
Oh, wow.
If you look it up there, it's called The Roster, and there was
I remember that.
Yeah, there was a big tryout at X Factor Paintball Park.
So it's on YouTube?
Yeah.
Called The Roster?
Definitely check it out. Yep.
Nice.
And I mean, we went through series of drills, and there was other pro players there as well. And, you know, there was a lot of kids there, and
Yeah.
I just went there to show them what I could do. That was it. You know, I didn't have a big head or, you know, think I deserved anything or, you know, wanted anything before I had earned it. So I went out there, I did all their, you know, snap shooting drills, running and shooting drills, and I fucking, you know, I dominated all of them. And then they did a big one-on-one
You're
tournament.
practicing them at the indoor field every weekend.
There you go. Yeah. Big one-on-one tournament. I won that. And
Dude,
then,
there we go.
You know, the second day is when Alex started having the X Factor guys play, and he mixed us all in with the team to see, you know, how we meshed in. And I mean, it was just a perfect fit.
So what year did you join?
That was 2012.
Nice. I'm throwing a one-on-one tournament out here in Arizona, December 20th. Get your butts out here and play
hell yeah.
this tournament. You can find it on my Facebook. So yeah, dude, that's crazy that that has been your family now for, let's see, you know, 8 years.
Yeah,
7,
it's 9 years next year.
Yeah, dude.
Wow.
Amazing.
Crazy.
It's a long time.
That time flies, dude.
Yeah,
it's so crazy. We've been in the game for so long.
Yeah. Damn,
it's so long. We're so old.
Oh,
so when
man.
did you?
You know, it's funny because.
No,
Sorry.
go ahead. Go ahead, Billy.
Yeah, no, it's funny because that was the year that X Factor first decided it was like this big thing that they were bringing in a non-Texan. So they brought me in, and then the other big move was they brought in Ryan as the coach. So
yeah,
everything kind of fell into place. And I remember talking to Ryan, and I was going through a lot of like life changes too during that time, as far as like starting a career and, you know, finishing school. And it was kind of hard for me to commit to flying to Texas so much. But I knew, you know, after talking to Alex and talking to Ryan, I knew what they were building, and I knew I wanted to be a part of it. So I definitely had to miss some practices in the beginning, but I knew I wanted to be a part of it. So I did everything I could to stay on top with this team. And, you know, I remember Ryan asking me, you know, like, hey, do you want to win a pro tournament? And I'm like, fuck yeah. Like, and he's like, well, we're going to win pro tournaments, you know, because I hadn't won a tournament until I went to X Factor. And
You're in the finals.
You were
in the finals a couple times.
Yeah, I was in the finals a ton of times, but never sealed the deal in a professional win. So the second year I was on the team, we won 2 events. Actually, we won DC 7-man, and then we won the World Cup in 2013.
Yeah, damn, dude. Everybody
that was
go!
An epic event.
Yeah, that was so crazy. Man,
that was
paintball history right there, and such a big moment, right? That was insane.
Huge moment.
Yeah. Everybody go and watch The Best Kids in Texas on Amazon.
Yes.
And support that movie, all about X Factor. It's on Amazon and also
it's on Amazon Prime and iTunes.
That's right.
We're pushing hard to hopefully get it to Netflix one day.
Dude,
that's right.
That'd be epic. Yeah, that's
epic
the goal. We've been
paintball.
pushing it on a lot of the
That's
shows.
awesome.
Like,
appreciate that.
yeah, absolutely.
It
I mean, Dan Napoli
cup of coffee.
Yeah,
you know,
Napoli did an awesome job with the film. And actually, going back to what Marcelo was saying before about the push music, if you watch BKI films, there's actually, it feels like parts of a push video that he recreated in that film. And, you know, it's just an awesome paintball video. It's not even, you know, an X Factor video. It's a paintball video. It shows how paintball evolved in Texas and how X Factor became this competitive professional team, and just shows the evolution of how they became a top team in the world. Yeah. And I mean, if you guys haven't seen it, please go check it out. Amazon Prime, Best Kids in Texas. It's awesome. I think it might, I don't even know if you have to pay for it anymore.
No way.
I think it might be, I think it might be
if
free
you
now,
have
but
Amazon Prime, you can download it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's huge.
It's downloadable now.
Everybody get over to Amazon Prime if you got it and watch that video. Please
go support us.
Yes. And even if you have to pay a couple
and
dollars,
us meaning paintball.
you know, it's the paintball family, dude. And like, legitimately, it costs as much as you would pay for a cup of coffee or like a bagel or something, you know, like buy the bagel, support paintball. And
I don't care what team or who it is that gets noticed first. If one of our like brothers or sisters in the paintball world for some reason brings
Yes.
a lot of attention to our sport, I'm about it. Let's do that.
100%. It's good for all of us.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's good for everyone.
I mean,
Totally.
I don't know who brought Transfuse. I know you guys are big supporters of them, but I mean, I'm benefiting from it because I get to drink the stuff and it's awesome.
Yeah. Dude,
you know?
there we go. Hey, that's right there. That's an endorsement, my friend.
That's it. Shout out Transfuse. Let's go.
Great.
See, we're not. Yeah,
Steven used
we're
to
not
play
bullshitting.
paintball. Yeah, we're not bullshitting.
Yeah, it's really good.
Steven, the owner, used to play paintball, so that's how he got into it. He decided to come back in, and I think he said he was on our last show. I think he said that he had known Ronnie and LJ. They were kind of the first people he jumped on, got on board. And I mean, Transfuse is just taking over the paintball scene, but they have a good product. They have a really good product.
Yeah. Dude, it's so funny. I met him in World Cup last year, and I saw the packet, and I was like, oh, great, another packet. Like one of those things. And then I did my research. I was like, whoa, this is great. Because me and Marcelo talk about it all the time. We take these things in pill form, and it was like you get it all in the packet. Plus, with COVID going on, it's like a huge immunity boost. It's just been the best deal ever to sign have them supporting you is like, what? Yeah, of course. I need you. This is the best thing ever.
Absolutely.
It's amazing.
So Billy, I do want to jump back into you getting on. So sorry to the listeners. We're going to regress just a little bit back to your Dynasty time, because obviously, Dynasty is very close to Ty and myself. And that was,
that's true.
Those were interesting times for Dynasty. I feel like it was 2011. I could be off. I'll let you tell the story, but yeah, how did it come about for you to go play Dynasty, and how was your time with them?
Yeah, I have it written down somewhere. I don't have it on me, but because I've done so much and played for so many teams, and I've kind of made a little book on how where I started and what years I played for certain teams. But I think you're right, though. I think it was 2010, 2011 ish. And I remember, it's funny. I remember it I was at my aunt's birthday party, and Eric Crandall called me, and he's like, "Hey man, the guys and I were talking, and this was when I had joined Vicious, and that was a nightmare, and it should have never happened. It wasn't a good fit, and those guys, no disrespect to them or anything, they're their own guys, and they had a very successful little career for how many times." Played, but regardless, I kind of got a bad rep with them, and I was kind of teamless for a little bit, and I remember Crandall called me, and he's like, "Hey, we talked at practice, and we definitely want to pick up a snake player, and what are your thoughts?" And I'm like, "Yeah, please, saving grace,
please.
Yeah, I'm in, man." And he said, he's like, Brad was the one who really talked you up, because I actually spent some time with Brad in Venezuela, because he was working for Eclipse. And I played a tournament down there, and he came down and filmed, and we got to know each other. And,
awesome.
Brad kind of just talked me up. He's like, "Hey, dude, Billy's a, awesome player, and I think he'd fit in well. And, I think he's worth a shot. I'll vouch for him." And then Eric gave me the call, and I went out to a practice, and, it worked out. It was a good fit.
There's a very valuable lesson right there. And Tyler and I talk about it all the time, but it's the players that build relationships with people are the ones that get rewarded. And that's just how life goes, right? You have to build relationships with people, not for an ulterior motive. One, it's in your best interest to build good relationships with people. You want to
in life,
friends in life,
Absolutely.
What I mean? But that's how opportunities present themselves, and if you do the work and an opportunity presents itself, you're going to be ready for it, but you going out to Venezuela, putting yourself out there, is for paintball, right? It was for a paintball tournament down in Venezuela, so you're putting yourself out there trying to get international. We talk about it all the time. Players should be doing whatever they can to go and travel and play internationally. I think it helps you grow as a player, because you have to lead a team. You have to be the person to go win games, to game plans, to do all of this stuff. And then you get to build some relationships like this. If you didn't do that, you maybe never got that call from Dynasty, and who knows what your path would have looked like after that,
Yeah. Beaster's the man.
Yeah.
What a great guy.
He is the man. I love that guy. But yeah, you're right. I mean, it was it was a dark time because, you know, Vicious was kind of making me look like a bad guy because it didn't work out with them. And,
Of course.
you know,
Vicious.
just because I'm not gonna run around and pick up dollar bills that this freaking weird lady's throwing on the ground.
This sounds interesting. I like this.
Yeah, wait, what?
So they had you working, huh?
No. So they were kind of like
they wanted you to be a stripper.
Team. Yeah, there you go.
Is that what I got?
And Karen and I don't even remember the guy's name. Carl. They were the parents of the team, and you know, they had a lot of money and they like to flaunt it. And you know, they'd give kids lunch money, and then she would walk around and like start throwing money, and all the kids would run around and chase her and pick them up. And, you know, like it was like it was funny, but it was like, I'm like 20 something at the time. Like these kids are younger. I'm like, I don't do this. And it's funny because Pat Roberts was on the team with me too, and we kind of were like, what the hell is this shit? Like we're good.
I'll be the first. So I'm diving. I'm getting in there.
I don't know. Either way, regardless,
I'm joking.
It was a bad fit.
Yeah. Well, hey, dude, how cool is that Crandall called you and that you were able to go learn everything you know from Alex Frazier on Dynasty? I mean, he's taught every snake player in the world how to play paintball.
He was my roommate too.
You are another one. So
only all the good snake. He's only taught all the good snake players.
That's right.
Yeah. He hasn't taught any of the other ones.
That's right.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's funny because it was me. You had me and Chad on the
George,
team at that time. Yeah.
Crazy. Wow, that's insane. So talk to me about that. Like, what was that like playing on Dynasty at that time? What was the energy like? What was the morale like? What was Dynasty like at that time? Because I came on the team in 2013.
Yeah. So
after that,
it's hard to remember. I mean, it was cool, you know, learning from Ryan and Yosh and Alex, obviously, and Davey was on the team, and you know, those are guys I looked up to when I was young. So just getting the opportunity to play on the same team as them was, you know, awesome for me. And I think there was one event without a coach, and then the next event Hinman came aboard and was coaching for us, and I had played for Aftermath also, so I knew Mike already, and I had already been, you know, part of his organization, so he knew me as a player. And
dude,
I mean, we had a really good team.
We're all Aftermath alumni here now.
That's true.
Yeah.
So
crazy.
It's
a lot of the top players in the league are.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Your teammate Rainey, man, that dude played so good.
Yeah,
I mean, he's the last couple of years he's really reached another level in my opinion. But damn, he played good at Cup, dude. My God.
Yeah, he crushed it for sure.
Yeah.
And it's funny because before the tournament, I remember Rainey and I were driving to the field and we're kind of talking, and we're like, man, like this is a good field for you. Like you're gonna be the MVP of this field. I could see it. And shit. And, so
I
Ryan
heard him
fucking snatched it from him, but it was close.
He was calling for a recount. I heard him. He said recount that.
I want to recount too. I think that was
it was a good old fashioned heist job, huh? Hey, I wouldn't put it past him.
Dude, get him, baby. I love it. And so, you were on Dynasty. You had, Davey Williamson. He won tournaments with Excessive. He's a legendary player as well. Who else was on the team? Obviously, the
Chad
OG.
George.
Yep.
Devin Odell was on the team.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Yep. And
Devin's
I can't even remember.
Shout out to Devin. Shout out to Pacific
I just
Beach.
remember. We had two lines, and my line was me and Archie on the snake side. Not 100% who else was on the line because it was so long ago, but I definitely remember Chad and I used to like basically rotate. You know, we were both the snake one guys. So
interesting. Now you guys go heads up against each other every tournament.
Yep. But I mean, it was a great experience. I'm really glad I had the opportunity to do it.
For sure. It's a small group of people that do what you do, Billy. You know what I mean? Like, and to do it at the level that you've been able to do it at, what would you say has helped you attain that level success.
Are you talking about
Snake
the snake
side?
side?
Yeah,
Or,
snake side. A snake attacker
Yeah.
is definitely like the most difficult position to find a player that can play it well, right? And can go deep in terms, because you have to do so many different things well. You have to have so much experience in that spot. You look at all the top snake players in the league. You guys, you've been playing a long time, you know, so you know when to pull it back. Whereas, you know, in the early parts of your career, Billy, you didn't have that second gear, and that was always your flaw, you know. And then, man, I don't even want to put a date on it. Maybe 5 years ago is when you really fixed it, you know, and you started to take in all of these other speeds. And then, what was it, 2 years ago, or last year, 19, you were the MVP in Chicago. You know, like you've become a player that can play all types of the game, but that takes so many years to master. And as a snake player, I feel like it's the hardest position to master that in, because it's such a dive in, crawl the way down, and shoot as many people and get off the field as possible. But it's so crucial when you don't slow down, you know, when you need to.
Yeah. Again, like you say from the start, it's all about experience and being able to work with a coach like Ryan and, you know, all my teammates, you know, kind of giving me the advice that I need to go out there and be successful. It's what helps me. And, you know, the field layouts have been so different the past few years that
they have.
It's not a rocket snake where you just run, dive, crawl down, shoot a couple guys, and then get shot and then walk off.
That's right.
It's really a methodical snake side, and for some cases, sometimes you're not even playing a snake. You know, you're not crawling down. You're in big structures or what, you know, big bunkers, and you know. So ultimately, I had to, you know, you just got to adapt, adjust, and just you know, handle it. But
well, that's really interesting that you talk about that, because someone who hasn't been playing as long as we have wouldn't even begin to understand what snake side used to be, you know, or the way it was before this past few years, because the game has been changed with the way that these fields are being designed. They're changing the way that the game is played. It's much more methodical. It's not as much of a crash 'em, bash 'em, zipper side, go, like you said, war of attrition, where you just send a guy, he bunkers him, then he bunkers him, and then you know, it's much more thought out, and there's a much more precise way of applying pressure and pulling it back and making the flow happen, you know, that the game naturally provides. But these new fields with all the huge bunkers, like you said, you typically are at a car wash on the snake side, you know, or you have a couple car washes, what we used to call car washes, you know, 10 years ago. They're still out here. They're these big, huge bunkers, and now they're everywhere. There's more of them on the field than there ever has been, and it's changed the way that we play paintball, straight up. You know,
I gotta say, I gotta kind of push back on that a little bit, because in a way, I actually think that it's taken some of the methodical strategy out of it, you know, because there are so many bunkers. We talk about it all the time, Ty. Like, I wish they would remove 2 of the 4 big bunkers each event. You don't know which ones they're going to be, you know, or, sorry, 2 of the 6 big bunkers. That's right. Event, you know, just to kind of open it up a little bit, because that's why you see these teams that come into the league. They're very inexperienced, but they put up a fight because they run everywhere, and you can't shoot them. You know, there's no, like there's really small gap. Yeah, you can't shoot them all. You know, like, so I don't know. In a way, I feel like there's been a little bit of the skill taken out of the game, because you can kind of just close your eyes and get lucky. I mean, how do you think Ryan won MVP? Just closed his eyes and ran through the center every time, you know?
Dude, and remember the big W they would put in the middle of the field too?
That was silly.
You know, it's like anybody could run to the 50 and get to the wall.
Exactly,
and then,
exactly, dude, exactly.
You know, I know what you're saying.
Often you would put your like least experienced player there, but they would be leading the stats, you know, and so they would be seen as the number 1 player in the event, but really they're not the best player on the field. You know, they were the player that you would send into those spots to, you know, they would just get lucky. They shoot a person, they hear someone on the other side, they run around, bunker them, no one shoots them, and they shoot another person. And it's
no wonder I was always up there. I was wondering.
You were not always up there. You went there like twice, dude. I know. You're a Dorito player.
No, they see the yellow chamois around the neck, and then you run around and bunker the guy.
I love it. Yes, Billy. Thank you.
There we go.
Dude, Billy's poking some fun out here. We love it.
I did.
You know, maybe there have been teams that we've seen that maybe have chamois that they do things with, and then players make certain moves. It's crazy, you know. But it's part of the game, I guess.
I thought they were drinking Transfuse and could see through the bunkers, but Transfuse wasn't around back then. So yeah, it's the chamois.
There you
Damn
go.
goggle cloths.
Dude, that's hilarious. So you were with Dynasty for 2 seasons or 1 season?
Just 1 season. Yeah.
Okay. Why'd you leave?
So they actually cut us all. Everybody that were flying in, they cut me, Chad,
Oh, wow.
Archie, Devin, and they did full Cali roster. Brought Oliver back that year. That was the year Oliver came back.
Okay, so you played.
And,
That was 2010. You played with them then. Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then,
Okay.
yeah, they went full California.
Mhm.
Interesting.
And Marcelo, you were on the team in 2011, or is that wrong?
No, yeah, I played
You
one
played
tournament
one-
with them in 2012. End of 2012. It was the year that I was playing with Russian Legion, and they obviously
Yeah, I remember that.
man.
Bro, that's crazy. We were almost teammates. I came on the team
know.
literally the next tournament.
I know, dude. I know. And that was a tough decision too. Like I was either going to go to Dynasty. We just won that Vegas event,
Yeah.
or the Ironman was making me a really nice deal to go there and kind of lead a team and get to handpick the players that, you know, we wanted to build the team around. We were going to bring Mouse in, you know, it was kind of like players that I had grown up with. So I was like, you know, this is a fun challenge for me. I would like to go and, you know, I could go play with Dynasty. These guys they've already done it all. They've already established everything. That doesn't, you know, do much for me. So I wanted to take that challenge and go that route. But yeah, we could have been teammates from, you know, we already were teammates before that, though. We were teammates in 2000.
Yeah, that's right.
Aftermath. We were actually teammates in 2012 too on that funny Team Explicit.
That's right.
Those guys are funny.
Dude, that was fun. That was a great team. We had Lasoya on the team too. It was madness.
We had Lasoya on. I played with Lasoya on Aftermath. Were you?
God
Oh
bless
wait,
Lasoya.
no, we didn't. So you won Jacksonville with them, right?
I didn't play 7-man with them.
Ah, okay.
I actually played against them. And
Oh, whoa.
Oh
I
yeah,
was on the
no, you're on the
Hurricanes.
Hurricanes then. That's right.
And
That's
we
right.
went into 1-on-1s to go to the finals. And
Yeah.
I drew Lasoya and I beat him. And then I think who else played? I think Bobby won his.
Mhm.
And then I beat Lasoya, and then it was Mouse versus Mantoni for the win.
No
And
way.
Mouse won.
Wow.
Yep.
Dude, crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, we ended up getting third that event, and they got the first place.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
beat us in the finals, the Ironman.
Yeah.
That's right. Yep.
Dude, shout out to Moose, baby. Moose. He was on the
Moose,
team
yeah.
there. Moose, dude. Josh Minkowski. I love him.
Hell
Nice.
yeah.
He's in Florida. So then after that, then you joined up with X Factor and started that journey. So how did the first year go getting on the team? What was that like? A lot of people, you know, when I sent out this question on Instagram, ask, you know, what is your most memorable win with X Factor? We'll just start there. And then I have a couple more questions I want to get into as well.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely that World Cup win. You know, the second year I'm with the team. I mean, the first win I got with them was the DC Open. But it wasn't like you know, it didn't feel like a big win.
Right.
World Cup felt like the big win, you know?
Yeah.
So definitely that World Cup 2013.
Was DC your
you know,
first pro win?
DC, yes. First
Okay.
pro win with X
Yeah.
Factor. Yep. And you know, we had a you know, a good team, and we had Paul Richards a part of our team as well.
Mhm.
And he had coached me on the Raiders too. And, you know, he came, and him and Ryan were coaching together, and, you know, and he helped,
Yeah.
you know, teach Ryan a lot of what Ryan is doing now. And I think,
Rest in peace.
you know,
He's the best.
yeah, rest in peace, Paul Richards.
Yeah.
You know, he was the man.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just a very memorable event to win for those reasons alone. And yeah, that's definitely
Timeless. Timeless
And,
times, dude.
but yeah, you know, honestly, I said before, I had a lot going on as far as building my career and whatnot. So I struggled a little bit when I first got on X Factor on the X ball side. I was still, you know, one of their top 7-man players, because I was playing, the snake side, and the snake side was built for the, the rocket down, get down, shoot people in the back. And X-Ball was shifting to the more methodical game. And that's where I kind of had to change my game a little bit. And, the first year I definitely struggled. And then the second year it started to come together, and, that's when we won the World Cup. And then, it's only gotten better as the years go on. The older I get, it's just keeps coming together. Fine wine, baby.
That's it, dude. I was actually just looking at this old post that I made like 11 years ago on Faceful for the magazine, when they still had magazines, and they did this write-up, and I was talking about it in that magazine about how difficult it was going from playing 7-man style to playing X-Ball. And you were constantly having to go back and forth between these two different styles of play that you had to limbo. And, being really good at both of them, it was a difficult thing to juggle, going back and forth between both of those two styles. Because in 7-man, it's obviously more bodies, a little bit slower. The snake is different, like you said.
Yeah.
It's just a whole different energy. And it's kind of a hard thing to juggle, going back and forth between those.
Yeah, I agree. And I definitely, struggled my first year in the X-Ball side of things. It was definitely more, fast paced, but more methodical at the same time. And, the game was changing right before our eyes. And, if you weren't adjusting to it, you probably don't play professional paintball anymore. We saw a lot of teams drop out, and a lot of players from back in the day that just disappeared.
So true, dude. So true. What's it been like traveling from the East Coast to teams for so long? I got Alpha Roke 97. Thank you to everybody who tuned in and is giving these questions for Billy here. He was wondering what it's like traveling to play on teams all over the place, and what that experience is like. It's probably kind of nice. You get to see different areas, and then
it's not bad. You get some you time, and get to kind of just relax and not talk to anybody. But honestly, it's tough. Because it sucks for me, because Monday mornings is our meeting day, and so I'm usually flying home on a Sunday night from Texas, and literally getting home at 2-3 in the morning. And waking up at 6 a.m. to go to a meeting, and I'm running on like 3 hours of sleep, and it's just, again, if you want it, you got to make it work. That's it. And traveling is tough. It's draining, but especially traveling to be a part of X Factor, and being a part of the family over there, it makes it that much more worth it. It's not just for paintball. It's about going and being able to spend time with my brothers and, the family over there. So it's kind of like a home away from home now.
Totally.
So
I know I feel the same way. Like, I've had to travel for so long, and thank God I found Dynasty, because it's like what you're talking about here. It's about finding that home, right? That place that you can really, plant your feet and have a career and have a long stay with. You don't want to be the type of player that's bouncing around left, right, here, there, all over the place. Sure, for a couple seasons, I did that for a couple seasons, but I was trying to find my home.
Yeah, exactly.
I was searching for my home. It wasn't like I was just bouncing around to bounce around. I was like, okay, I'm going to find this thing, and it's weird, because I always knew where my home was. It's just, I had to.
Me too. Yeah, me too. That's so funny, dude. Me too. I love how you put that.
Who the hell knew I'd be hanging out with these good old Texans?
Boys. Yeah. Eating barbecue after.
I never thought I'd be saying the word y'all in my life.
Yep. Look at you now, boy. Y'all better listen up.
I don't think you can wear a Lacoste headband and say y'all. I don't think that works.
Totally joking. I do not say the word y'all. I give them shit about it all the time.
You slip up every now and again.
Come on now.
Yeah, you give it a good y'all.
Yeah.
That's funny.
A great while.
It's but that's what it's all about, dude. It's about the family. It's about the community. It's about the people that you get to share your time with. Our days are numbered here. You know what I mean? You only got so much time in this life, And the best thing that you could possibly do is surround yourself with great people that you can enjoy your experience with. And I know that was what it was for me. And it's probably all of us sitting here is finding that place you can call home. And once you find it, then you really start playing good, because you get to really fulfill your full self, and people are there to support you along that journey. And it just brings about so much gold, in that process.
Yep. It's because you're ultimately playing for each other. And, you're playing for your brothers. I mean, like, Alex Martinez is such a great guy and mentor to all of us, and I want to win for him because I know what he's investing in it. I know how much time out of his personal life he's taking to give us the opportunity to do our dream, and I want to win for him.
I love that, dude. It's all about the why, right? Like, why are you doing this? And your why has to be important. It has to really mean something to you, because if you don't know why you're doing it, you're going to fizzle out. You're going to fade. You're not going to have the passion. You're not going to have the drive. You're not going to be able to go those extra rounds. And that's so important. And dude, what an organization you guys have. Every time we go out to X Factors Field, play out there. Huge shout out to Texas Paintball in general. It's just so much fun. There's a twang in the air, there's barbecue grilling.
Texas paintball is the new California paintball, to be completely honest. I love that. Fran is doing his best to bring back Southern California paintball, but Southern California used to be the mecca. And now, honestly, when younger players ask me where they should go if they want to get noticed or get better at paintball, I don't say California anymore. I say Texas. You have the Paintball Fit program with a bunch of teams there. You have, obviously, your guys' field. X Factor Paintball is one of the best fields that you can be at. Actually, one of the kids that I have been working with for a really long time has been playing with you guys. His name's Trent Nita. You know what I'm talking about, Billy?
Absolutely.
What do you think of young Trent?
Trent's a beast, man.
He's a beast.
I haven't actually played with him yet. I've heard that he's been playing, he practices with the team on off weekends, and he's been playing really well. And I've seen him play a couple times out there. And I know he guested with the Hurricanes at World Cup. So, I've heard nothing but good things, and I've seen a lot of talent, and I know he's got the drive, and I know what he knows what he wants to do.
Yeah.
So
he just has to keep.
I think he's got a bright future ahead of him. So we'll see.
Just has to keep his mind right. That's such a big thing with kids. Coming up through the game. One, it's staying focused, not letting distractions get in the way. And two, being able to keep your emotions in check, which is really hard. But it's like Trent's a really fiery player, so he kind of loses it sometimes. But that's also like, I want that in a player, because I want that, but I want to be able to mold it into something that isn't detrimental, But you want a player that has like the fire.
If you're not an intense person, you're in the wrong sport.
Exactly, sure, dude, for sure.
But
look at all of us.
We're all crazy. It's hard to manage that though when you're younger, and then Trent's still a younger guy that is kind of learning his ways. So
absolutely,
Texas paintball is huge right now, and California I feel like still does have some good pockets. NorCal has Capital Edge and Extreme Paintball, and Southern California does have several different fields that are doing great stuff. But I agree with you, Marcelo. It has transitioned to where
Texas
is like
popping, dude.
It's booming. It's booming in Texas. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Ever since Billy went there.
That's
right,
dude.
Just needed a little East Coast flavor to spice it up a little.
Yeah, man. So they must give you shit, I'm sure, right? Being the East Coaster on the team. It's probably fun, good fun. It's just like anything. Your brothers, everyone's always bagging on each other and having fun, but that's what it's all about.
Absolutely. It's all fun for sure.
Yeah, dude.
Who do you think you've learned the most from on the team?
Ooh, that's a tough question, honestly. Honestly, everybody. I mean, I feel like I've gotten a little bit out of everybody, but honestly, I think Ryan has taught me a ton. Archie, of course, has taught me a ton, and I'd probably say, Rainey being a part of the team recently, Rainey's kind of opened my eyes to some other things that, I was unaware of and whatnot. So
Rainey's a wizard, dude. That dude has been in the game.
Those guys, definitely helped my game the most.
So what kind of things does Rainey talk about? Because like Marcel said, he's a damn wizard, bro. This guy is something else. He's like,
I mean, we like to talk about gambling. I mean,
there we go.
because,
Yeah.
you know, when me and Rainey are sitting in a hotel room, I mean, it's only a matter of time before we start going by
Scratchers.
and do something.
Dude, I see
Doing
your
some,
guys' Instagrams. Yeah.
I mean, we stayed in Vegas after the first event for like a couple extra days, and I mean, we just walked around and gambled all day.
Love it.
I mean, well, I was in Connecticut coaching at the OPS last year, and you sent me a text. You're like, "Oh, meet me at the Mohegan Sun. We're gonna gamble." I was like, "It's like 10 o'clock at night. I got to coach next morning." You're crazy.
Yeah,
I love that.
Me and Rainey definitely have a special gambling relationship.
And you guys have actually cashed out on a couple of those scratchers. I've seen it.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
we don't
play to lose. We play to win.
And you also don't post the ones that you do lose.
That's true too.
Because I play scratchers too, and I do pretty well, but I know how they go.
Yeah.
I know how they go.
You're typically down a little bit every time.
There you go.
The scratchers, man. It's scratcher life. It's a good one.
Billy, we've kind of been all over the place a little bit, but this has been really fun. I do want to dive into, again, like your career for me is one of the ones that are very admirable because, again, you did it the hard way. Nothing was really handed to you. You had to make hard decisions to put yourself in the right position. And I remember, again, coming up, playing against you in like 2006, 7, 8 as a young kid, watching, your evolution. We've all been around each other for so long, and to see you finally culminate everything into the type, I mean, you're one of the most elite attackers in the league. Nobody will deny that. All the way up until the event last year where you guys win Chicago and you're the MVP. I think that's the first MVP you've had, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We won since they started doing the MVPs. We won the 2 events, and the first one was Archie and the second one was me.
That's kind of funny too, actually, because there's tons of other MVPs, but since they've they keep
100%.
restructuring how they do these MVPs, so it's a weird conversation to have. They need to sort that out.
I agree,
because it's not all the whole story is not there right now, right? It's kind of this new story, but
makes sense.
In any case, you had like emerged as the number one guy, which it had been a long time coming, like it's not like you had just came on the scene. You've been working your butt off for that. And it's a team sport first and foremost, right? We all know this, but you have to go out there and give your best and play your best for your team. And you did that in that event, in those wins. I mean, you played lights out in Philly too, so just talk me through like what it was that, in your opinion, finally clicked to where you had become the type of player where all teams have to fear. Because look, when we play, I'll be honest with you, World Cup, you were the first guy we were trying to shoot off the break, that was it. We're like, let's shoot Billy, that was part of the game plan. And I know we're not the only team. So how have you put yourself in that position? What has clicked?
I think for me, definitely is being able to be a front player and still be able to communicate the way a back player communicates. And I think that's what separates me from, good snake players and being a great snake player is that I can I feel like my communication, because of my teammates, of course, has been at an elite level, the past couple of years. And that's really what it's all about. Making your bunker is one thing, being able to snap shoot is another thing.
Yeah. Being
able to communicate and to, shoot 2 guys, let your team know, and then, trade out with a guy is what is really going to separate you from being good and being great.
Well, you're right. And there's kind of a misconception that only the back players are quarterbacks, right?
Right.
That a quarterback is in the backfield. No, you need to be a quarterback. All of us need 100%. To be quarterbacks. Every player on the field needs to be a quarterback. Everyone should
think about it. The front guys can see more of the field when you're up there, and you can kind of control where you need your support and whatnot. And and granted, like we do a good job as a team to create different codes that are essentially audibles and giving our team information by just saying one word rather than blurting out a whole sentence.
Of course,
So
And all the best teams do that. There's
right.
It's awareness. That's what it comes down to, is awareness. And like you said, when you're in the front, you have the most awareness. And also, to couple that, when you communicate, you're going to not get into a dumb gunfight and get shot out. It's going to save your life. Communication will save your life. Not only are you going to not get in that dumb gunfight and get shot out, obviously there's times when you have to control an area and do that. And if that's your job, do that. But do your job, get to the spot, and then put the pieces together. You know what I mean? Like you said, communicate backwards. Let them know what you're seeing. Let them know what's going on. And then they're going to give you information. You're going to be able to make great decisions off of that and close games out, point blank.
Absolutely, man. It's the little things that count.
I love that you said that, Billy, because again, you're always a great snake player, but to reach that elite level, it's the same thing Chad George went through, right? And same thing Mouse went through.
100%.
And they both openly talk about it. It's once they learned how to slow down when they needed to and communicate. That's like the biggest thing they say, really change their game and turn them into, there's nothing more frustrating than a player that can get into almost any spot they want and then not give up their body, as like a 2 or a 3 or someone on the other side of the field. That's a nightmare to deal with. Like that is the worst thing to deal with in a front player. And speaking of that as well, as someone who has shot for you off the break for many, many years, you're one of the hardest players to shoot because you run so low.
Yeah.
You've like kind of always done that. Do you have any like tips or tricks is there a way you train that?
Yeah. Close your eyes, pretend you're falling and just fucking go speed.
That's what it looks like you're doing. So it makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. Honestly, like when I walk the fields too, and when I practice, I feel like it's a game of inches, just like
that's
anyone.
Right.
It is.
One step deeper, one step tighter.
Yes.
Makes a difference in running against a shooter, like yourself. If you're shooting a deeper lane and I'm, running a little bit of a tighter lane, it's, my odds just went up to make the bunker. Are you going to shoot me? Who knows? Maybe. But I like to just play by the odds. I like to do my job,
Gambler.
with my coaches and scout, how teams are shooting. And then I make my adjustments out there on the field.
He's a gambling man.
Nice.
Play the odds, baby.
Roll the dice.
That's it. That's honestly it. Yeah.
What game has the best odds in the casino? Do you know?
Oh, I like Baccarat, but Craps is known for the best odds. Yeah, but Baccarat is another good one.
Blackjack is my game. I win almost every time I sit down at the table, dude. It's crazy. We just stopped in Vegas. I went to visit my mom in Mesquite. It's like
that's right.
Vegas.
Awesome.
And I like have won big a few times, but usually it's $50, $100. But you leave and you're like, you sit down for an hour and like if you win just a little bit of money, it's sweet. It's better than losing the money. That's for sure. It's like you're getting paid for entertainment.
Oh yeah. I do it for the thrill. I don't do it to get rich.
Exactly. If you can leave even, that's a win. That's a major win. If you can sit down for a little while and you leave even, that's a win.
Yeah. So
I don't know. I'm one of those guys that I'm not leaving until I'm broke or rich.
I thought you just said you don't play to get rich, dude. What are you talking about?
But you're not going to get me out of the casino with money on my pocket.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
He's leaving with nothing.
Is Rainey the same way? Or does he have discipline?
Smarter. Yeah. Rainey's more disciplined. I'm the wild card. But I have stupid luck. If you talk to Rainey, he'll vouch for me.
Yeah.
That's
awesome, dude.
I know how to pick them.
I'd rather be lucky than good sometimes,
That's it.
Yeah.
There you go.
For a reason.
Dude, so to hit back on your training, because I know you obviously you train hard for paintball, right? You work out, you give it.
Doesn't.
So I actually
he eats cannolis and pizza.
So I let Rainey in on one of my secrets, and that's why you saw him in the snake so much. And the secret is Dunkin' Donuts. And before practice, you need to eat you need to carb up with your donuts. And Rainey was actually, and I'm not even joking, Rainey was eating 4 donuts before practice. I only do 1, sometimes 2, but Rainey was doing 4. And you saw him in the snake at World Cup. He was fucking tearing it up.
Dunkin' Donuts coffee is trash.
America runs on Dunkin'.
Dunkin' Donuts coffee is trash.
Oh no.
You
Here
have
we
to
go.
order,
Here
you
we
have to
go.
order the most. You have to order a special. It has to be light roast. No, it has to be dark roast. I forget which one it is, but if you get one, it tastes like trash water.
You just pissed off a lot of East
I know.
Coasters.
Yeah,
I
dude.
guarantee
I know,
Rob
I know,
and
I know.
You better watch it,
No,
Marcelo.
Crew
nope,
is-
nope. Rob is a Starbucks man.
Oh
Rob
boy.
is a Starbucks
Starbucks
man.
man too. I
Yeah.
don't hate Starbucks.
This is so
Don't
funny,
get me
bro.
wrong.
Okay, because you actually got a question from Dragoon's Paintball.
About
What's your
Dunkin' Donuts.
what's your Dunkin' Donuts order? Also,
Hell yeah.
not only what is your Dunkin' Donuts order, also when is X Factor gonna get that official hair product sponsor, bro?
Hair product.
Dude, they're letting you have it here. What's your DD order?
Oh man. DD order.
Power breakfast wrap is actually pretty bomb. I gotta say.
I usually do before practice. I like to keep it light. I'll do like the bacon, egg, and cheese wake up wrap.
There we go.
But a lot of times it would be like, an everything bagel with cream cheese.
Yeah.
Definitely always got to add in hash browns.
Oh, it's a staple.
Yeah. Sometimes we're doing the vanilla frosted donuts. Sometimes we're doing the French curler.
You guys are
usually
serious.
before practice, I like to do the
A
caramel
French
swirl
curler.
iced coffee.
Yes, man. This
So,
is great. I
I
love
kid
it.
you not. I mean, we do eat Dunkin' before paintball practice. It's
Dude,
it's
more
what gets
power.
you through the day, man. America
Hell yeah.
runs on Dunkin'.
America does run on Dunkin'. I've heard that. I've definitely heard that.
Yeah, so I do train though. I'm just playing
sure.
around. I do eat
Of
Dunkin' a
course.
lot, but
Yeah.
I'm not a big social media poster, so I'm not posting a ton. But I actually built a gym in my basement, and
Yeah.
I've been doing a lot of the Peloton classes. I really
There we
like
go.
doing the spinning lately,
Mhm.
and they have a lot of cool cardio classes, and
Yeah.
I like to just keep in shape. I'm not trying to bulk up or anything. I like to stay
Right.
Totally.
agile and keep my endurance up. So
Yeah, we talk about that a lot as well. Like, I'm not trying to have like someday I want to have some yoked biceps, just monsters, pythons.
go.
You know what I'm saying? But right now, as I'm playing,
You're gonna wait until you're so old you got no more testosterone or what?
dude, it's never running out for me, baby. It's never running out here.
BDE.
Yeah, BDE, let's go. But yeah, it's like, would you agree that there's no way to really train for paintball? Like no matter what kind of weight training or endurance, if I'm not playing
100%,
paintball, yeah, you're not
You
ready.
just said it. When I do clinics, people ask me what's the best what's the best workout for paintball. My answer is always the same: playing paintball.
Yeah,
You're
that's
using
right.
different muscles. You're running. You're getting cardio in. So I mean that's just my opinion. Other people,
Totally.
think differently. But
No, you're right. 100%. You can't argue that.
Yeah.
You look at
Mhm.
all sports, like even in basketball, they say it constantly. There's a difference between being in really good shape and being in game shape.
Mhm.
They could be training and
Right.
preparing for the season, but it takes a couple games for you to get in that game shape. However, the unfortunate thing with paintball is people can't play 7 days a week. Most people can't, right?
Yeah.
It's hard to
Mhm.
find access to fields during the week. So people need to find something to do as a supplement, as far as training and, uphill sprints, weighted burpees, full body movements, functional exercises. Those are the kind of things that you want to be doing to kind of keep those muscles activated, body squats, some stuff
Yeah.
like that. So
Dude,
100%.
tons.
I mean, it's all
Mhm.
about all about keeping your cardio up and being able to make it through a full match is what is most important.
Yeah.
If you're working out and bulking up too much, it's it's great for life and
For
being
the
healthy,
beach.
but it's not good for paintball. Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, great for the beach muscles.
totally.
There you
I
go.
do
Exactly.
tons of like jumping movements. I'm telling you, like
jumping's awesome too. Yep.
totally, because it's so explosive. Just the jumping movements. I feel like when I get to paintball, and I've been doing a lot of those plyometric jumping movements, really dialing in the legs. The legs is where it's at. You got to have your
Mhm.
legs on
Yep.
point. And then obviously your core, you got to do the core workouts and everything. I do a couple little bicep things to hold my gun and be feeling strong when I hold my gun. But really the main focus is the legs. You got to have your legs on point. That's where it's at. Yeah. So
I agree with that.
how do you run so damn low, Billy? What are you doing, bro? What are you doing?
I think he really told us.
Yeah.
Close your eyes and
Flexibility,
fall
bro.
towards
Flexibility,
the
too.
ground.
Yeah.
Definitely. Close your eyes. Pretend like you're falling, and
I mean,
Yeah,
that
but
actually, hey,
flexibility
honestly,
is huge too with paintball.
For sure. Yeah. Yoga.
I want to
Totally.
talk about what kind of stuff you do to stay flexible, because I think that's one of the most important things. I totally agree. But there is actually a golden nugget in close your eyes and fall towards the ground. Maybe not close your eyes, but
Yeah, maybe not close
when
your
you're
eyes,
running
but
to a
yeah.
bunker, if you're like falling towards the ground, and you could have some sort of balance in that to where the timing
100%.
of falling towards the ground, that is how you dive really low. You know, that's how you make a spot. It truly is. I've never been the fastest person, but when I do run to spots, I typically make them, you know, whether they're corners, whatever it is. And me and Dalton and I were talking about this, because Dalton, you know, he's not as fast as he once was, but you know, he's like, I constantly make spots, and I won't even be running faster than somebody that isn't making that spot. It's just, I'm running differently, you know,
Right.
and there's so much truth to that. You know, when you slide in, are you like going pencil style, you know, into the bunker, or are you maneuvering your body so that you're a thinner target, you know, and you're coming up behind the bunker? Like,
it's all about having that paintball speed, you know.
Yeah,
I mean,
totally.
I think you know, Carl Markowski played with us a couple years, and he's freaking lightning fast, and he would get shot off the break a lot. I mean, it's not all about getting being the fastest guy. It's about, you know, like you said, being able to maneuver your body, being able to keep your balance, and, you know, getting low. And I always look at, you know, it's every field's different. Every bunker you're getting to is different. Some bunkers it's all about being low and diving, and some bunkers it's all about your speed. It's getting through those lanes.
The first gap, right? Yeah, because on most for most of the time, for a front player, you can't beat a paintball gun. You know, you just can't. But it's those interior gaps that there's these fields where you need to get through that gap, and your first couple steps. Your first step makes all the difference of you getting through that gap, and your speed can beat the paintball at that moment, you know?
Yeah, it's timing, and it's awareness too. You got to watch the shooters, like Billy was saying, see what kind of shots that they're throwing out. If they're throwing it a little bit higher, you can make a different cut inside and low. If they're shooting a little bit lower, you run the tape line a little bit wider, and it's going to give you better odds, you know, the gambling man. So it's just being aware also of your opponent and reading that guy too, checking out what he's doing. Yeah. Yeah, dude, there's so many layers to this game. It's a multi-layered cake. If you're going to be the best player out there, you got to really be doing the work and looking at all the details.
100%, man.
100%. Yeah. Billy, what I also really wanted to talk to you about, because it's something, you know, again, you said yourself, you don't post much on social media, so a lot of people might not know. I didn't know that you had been doing those Wednesday nights as long as you have been. I thought maybe you had just kind of started that, but that's, again, an amazing thing for the community. You getting out to the BKI summer camp, I think it was last year, you came out for one of the days, you know, and all these different things. How do you feel about teaching paintball? Is that something that you think you want to do after your career is over? You want to continue to do more of? Are you trying to do more of that as you get older? What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I definitely, I enjoy being around paintball. I enjoy being around people who are passionate about paintball and that want to get better. And I always look at it as when I'm all said and done, like I want to leave behind a legacy, and I want to see the guys that I trained playing in the pro league and hearing my name on the podium, thanking me for getting them there. You know, like that's what I want to see. And, you know, so for myself, but, you know, again, do I want to coach paintball when I'm done? Maybe. You know, I'm not a huge clinic guy. I used to be when I had more time. But I'm really all about just like helping people and playing, you know, getting out to the field, playing with guys, giving them tips and advice during, you know, throughout the day. That's really what our Wednesday nights are. It's not a clinic. It's, you know, we call it practice with the pros. And when Josh Pike was coming, he was the other pro, and Dan Zaleski would come sometimes. Nick Laval was coming at times. So
that's so cool that you're doing that, because it's genuinely from your heart. You're going out there for the love of the community of paintball, and you're doing a great thing. You're giving back. There's no monetary attachment. You know, you're you know, obviously doing this all out of the love of the game. Yeah.
And we had such a good group this year, because a lot of the times, you know, you get the whiny guys at the field, but this year it was such a good group that, you know, some guys wanted to play with me, and it's like, come on, you know, be on my team. Other guys wanted to play against me. They just wanted to shoot me, you know? And then other guys are just like, you know, after the day is over or whatever, like, hey man, like, what do you think about this and that? And I'll sit there and bullshit with them, you know, and talk to them.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I would always do, you know, end the day off with either a raffle, you know, with, you know, I had some of my sponsors, you know, Pro DNA did it, JT did it, would sponsor the
Awesome.
night. And we'd do like a raffle at the end of the night, or I'd pick, you know, the MVP of the night when there was, you know, just so many people there. And, you know, it's just keeping everybody involved and keeping them come back. And just, you know, I want to see, I know Connecticut paintball will never be Texas or California paintball, but I want to see it grow. And, you know, I want to see more pro teams come out of this area.
Absolutely. Dude, it's so amazing that you do that, because there's not enough pro paintball players or paintball players in general going and shedding that good light on the game and just giving back. Like you said, someone asks you a question, you're not a dick about it. You genuinely help the person, and you know, there wasn't always a time like that. Like back in the day, you ask a pro and he's like, I'll tell you how, and kicks you in the ass or something, or, you know, you know, like, it's just, it's nice to see so much going back into the game these days. And people will never forget that their whole life, you know. They're going to carry those little nuggets of knowledge that you've been dropping on them. They're going to have that forever. And you'll be, you know, maybe someday he'll be on the podium and he'll be like, yo, Billy Bernacchia, thank you, brother. You know, that's what
and
it's all about.
I would love that, you know.
Yeah.
It's cool because they all support me. They all, you know, wear my jerseys around and stuff, and, you know.
Yeah, love that.
And you know,
that's what it's all about.
It's good, man. It's good.
Yeah,
I'm actually working with JT now. We'll give you a little spoiler alert.
There we go.
Working with JT now to do some custom Billy Bernacchi stuff. We're gonna do a you know, a specialized limited edition mask, and maybe some pants and jerseys. So
be white frames on these masks or what?
I can't give it away yet, but it's not going to be white.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Legends.
No, we got some good ideas, and I've been working with them, so I'm really excited about it.
That's
you know,
huge,
it's still a little
dude.
ways away, so
yeah.
But
congrats on that. That's
cool.
Awesome. Love that.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, dude. It's all the you know, the little accolades. They mean so much to us as a pro paintball player. When you get your own line, you're like, dude, this is just like, you just feel really good about the opportunity to give back your own little style, your own little zest to the game. And people appreciate it. You know, there's people, you can't even imagine how many people there are out there that support us and follow us. So it's really cool that we're able to give those kinds of things back to the community.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. I think what you guys are doing is great. And, you know, it's crazy because I know you guys just started this and it's already blowing up, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's been fun, man. You know, it's been fun. It's been easy. It's like, to be able to sit down and have these conversations with people, our peers, and people that we've looked up to at one point or another, and maybe still do. And, you know, it's like, we're just having a fun time with it, you know? And so
that's it.
I think, I think
I'm more inspired. I'm more inspired than I've ever been just doing these. Like every show is inspiring, you know?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. It's cool. Getting all the grassroots on the whole industry pretty much over here.
And the goal is to do everyone too. You know, we want, again, divisional players, company owners. Like, it doesn't stop with just the pros. It's just, you know, we did just start fairly recently, and so, you know, we're going through the list at first, and being able to do stuff post event is really cool too. And I do want to talk to you a little bit about World Cup, because I mean, dude, you guys didn't have Archie. You know, a lot of people could say he's your guys' best player, and, you know, rightfully so. Archie's the man. Truly one of the best players I've ever seen play the game. And, you know, you guys still, I mean, dude, that game could have went either way, right?
Bro.
In all seriousness, like, you guys, in many ways, like, did Jesse core sample? Let's get that out in the air. That's like the whole thing. Like, what happened there?
You know, not a lot of people know that, but Jesse did core sample off the break.
Damn. So he was just gunned down in the corner.
He spent the whole point kind of just trying to force that dirt out of his barrel, and he couldn't get it out. And, you know, he was using a freak barrel, and he didn't know to hold the insert in to shoot, you know, so it was, he was trying to shoot without it, and it was just blowing up paint. So it was just,
that's a valuable thing too. I actually have done a little, I think I did that video for our Patreons actually of PTG, but you got to know your equipment, right? Like, problem solving, if your loader goes down or if you core sample, like the major issues that your guns have, you need to know how to fix those really fast, right? Like, that's an important thing.
Dude, that was a nerve-wracking game. Oh my gosh. Jeez.
Yeah, it was just, bad luck for him. I mean, he had a great event, and he's definitely one of our up and coming guys. And
Oh yeah,
I love
man.
Jesse, dude.
Me
He's
too.
such a great guy.
Bad luck on the point, but
that is.
we still almost pulled it out. But it's
you guys. I mean, you guys hands down played us better than any other team. And just like the
that was probably one of the best matches that we had. I mean, we had the whole World Cup. I mean, and all our games are decided by 1 point on Sunday.
That's crazy. Yeah, and dude, matches. major props because we were up a few points on you guys, and you guys just turned it up. You guys turned it up, and I was like, what in the hell is going on? Let's go, it was crazy.
It was frustrating for me because I mean, you guys really had my number in the beginning, and you shot me.
I know.
Like 5 times off the break or something.
I'm gonna just put it out there. That was me shooting you from the tall tower, and they were giving Ryan all my kills.
They were giving Ryan the kills. That's why
I shot you.
Recount.
I shot you the first point. You might be the only person I shot the whole match. Well, you might be the only person I shot the whole match, and it happened twice. I think I played one of the worst matches I think I've ever played, but that was again, I think I said it in the beginning. You were the guy we keyed up on, we were like, really. And they did, Tyler, they gave Ryan all your kills.
I know, dude.
Because after that, my gun switched and they were still giving them to Ryan. Just feed him.
I just needed a couple. Hey, but seriously, that old dragon, he played his heart out.
Oh my God. He played
Ryan,
so good.
Ryan played so phenomenally, just so aware in the middle there. So huge shout out to Ryan and congratulations on the golden barrel there. But yeah, it was just a nerve-wracking game. I was just like, oh my God, we're in overtime. This has come to this. It was like,
it's crazy because right before the overtime point too, it was like, wow, like it's literally, it was a coin flip at that point. I mean, we were both playing hot, and it was really, I ultimately I was thinking maybe whoever wins the breakout, but on that field layout, it didn't really matter who won the breakout. It was really who made those game-winning moves down either side of the field. And I mean, in my opinion, Tyler, your move was the MVP move of. I think did you win the MVP move of the event? Because you made that move down the inside Doritos and then into the big wedge on that side, and me and Meter didn't even know, and it sucked because I shot Dalton and we thought Dalton was the front guy.
Yeah.
So Meter started rapping, thinking like, "Oh, we killed the front guy," and then all of a sudden Tyler's like, "Oh, free kill!" Like, what the, and it was just so many.
I couldn't believe
things.
my eyes. I couldn't believe my eyes. Dude, I was like, "Oh."
We had
so many little things, man.
We had to
change that whole.
We had a crazy play that was like, we came up with the play against the Russians. We were like, okay. We're just going to go everyone Dorito side and only put me in this can and just try to win down that side, and we used it in the overtime point in the World Cup finals.
Yeah. So Rusty actually talked to Ryan about it and said that as well. Yeah. And it's funny. It sucks because you couldn't see the other side, but had we seen you didn't put Arturo or, any of your snake eyes out, we would have probably adjusted our game plan. And it was great. I mean, it worked out, but
the way the pits are at World Cup, if you're on your side, right? Like you're in overtime, it's so hard to see the other side.
Yeah, you can't see the other side, and Ryan couldn't see anything.
Totally.
So.
Yeah.
Dude,
that was one of the most exciting NXL World Cup finals ever. That was crazy.
Yeah.
It just went back and forth, and then you guys. I was like,
I was just so excited that I made the corner off the break because you guys had my number, and I was like, and it's crazy because like I was looking at the, I was watching all the points, and I couldn't believe that you guys actually shot me that many times. Like I never get shot that many times, so it was wild. And then I remember just being so excited, like, all right, I'm out here, and I hear Rainey start yelling, "Snake, snake, snake!" So in my head, I'm thinking, okay, Ryan just went up to the middle and went snake because I saw that nobody went out wide, and then I saw Marcelo was in the cans still, and I see Rainey start getting sneaky up there, and he goes and bunkers out, Ryan, right? So I immediately like trailed him, thinking I'm gonna catch whoever's in the temple, and it was Marcelo, and I rap and I'm like, where the fuck is he? And Marcelo, it was so funny because I was like, is he there? Like, what the heck? And I guess the problem was is Rainey bunkered Ryan and then kept going and tried to get you when he could, and he said this after. It's like, I could have just stopped in, but I got greedy and tried to get Marcelo, and whatever. I would have did the same thing. I would have did the same thing. But him doing that made you kind of tuck in and just be like, is he out? Is he out?
Yeah.
And then the timing of that happening was when I came up, and now you're like still head checking to see if Rainey's there, and now you catch me. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, well, now, no more free kill, but we had the spots, and I remember Meter like turned to me and said, Dorito 3. And I think during that is when Tyler made his move, because he was sitting on that lane waiting for somebody to go through it. Yeah. And he literally turned for a second and was like, Billy, Dorito 3.
My timing.
I think Tyler was already Tyler was already in there.
Yeah.
I was in there early, Tyler.
I'm not entirely sure of the time.
I was in the snake first. Rainey made his move. I filled the snake, and then you filled. Yeah. Because we had shot Blake off the break, and then Dalton filled over. I rewatched it already. It was painful,
our game plan. Dalton and I, we actually talked about the game plan. Our game plan, which at practices we just kept reiterating. Dalton was like, "All right, I'm gonna go." And I'm just going to get shot and get out of the way for you, Tyler, so that you could come through and win the game.
That's what happened.
Yeah, Dalton called
it.
There's so many ways that you guys.
I know you guys worked really hard, and I saw.
Bro, we got lucky.
Instagram posts, so it was your time, and there's no luck involved. I mean, you guys fucking earned it. It could have went either way.
It could have.
Either one of us would have earned it.
That's right.
It could have went either way, but it was your guys' time. So props to you guys.
Thanks, brother.
And again, like you said, Archie wasn't playing, but Archie had was so helpful in the pits and helping with game planning and kind of just whispering in your ear when you came off the field. And he had such a great attitude that he was gonna try to play. Because he had rolled his ankle and it was painful for him, but he was going to try to play, but he kept saying that, like the team is playing so well that I have so much confidence that we can win without me right now. Yeah. And, hearing someone like Archie saying that is like, man, that, that's motivational right there,
Marcelo, do you remember 2015 when we won World Cup? What happened to me?
Yeah. You hurt your knee. In the exhibition tournament that we played. Right
I remember that.
I dislocated my knee at that World Cup, and I did what Archie was doing. I was the voice in the pit, in the ears, in the hype, and like making sure everybody's minds are right. And it's brutal, dude. That is such a brutal experience. Like
you almost beat me up at breakfast because I asked how your knee was doing.
Yeah, I know. It was not.
I knew. I was like, man, I don't want to ask because I know it's, dude. I know injuries probably better than anyone sitting here.
Knock on wood. Knock
on wood.
It's a brutal experience.
It's tough. You want to be out there. You spend all the time training and preparing, and you want to be out there with your team, and it gets taken away from you. Like you literally feel like it's ripped away from you from an injury.
But I guess what I'm trying to get at is I feel like I had such a impact, probably like Archie did, in helping the team. Even though I was injured, I was still doing my part and still, 100%. There to boost in any way I can and be the best teammate that I can possibly be in my shitty times. And that's so powerful, dude. That type of energy, it also adds another component to the whole chemistry of the team and what's being accomplished when they see their 100%. Brother, their brother is hurt and they're doing it to win for, they want to make sure that this is done right.
Really, it allowed more of us to kind of just step up and really expose like how deep we are. I mean, Meter stepped up huge and, had an awesome event. Rainey killed it out there. I mean, Cody Bayless had some points out there. I mean, Jesse, LJ, I mean, everybody came together as a team really stepped up and got us all the way there. So, it sucked not having Archie, but it could have been worse if he wasn't, if he didn't have the attitude that he did, which,
that's a great
but,
point right there. And that's
Yeah.
what Tyler
moving
was
into
alluding
next,
to.
Yeah.
moving into next year. I mean, we'll have Archie back, we'll have Cole back, and we spoiler alert, we did sign one more new guy.
There we go.
I don't know
A-Rod?
if you guys heard, but we did not
A-Rod?
sign A-Rod. It's not even released, but when's this posting?
Tomorrow.
This podcast?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let it
Yeah,
rip,
break
bro.
it.
I think
the
it's
news,
gonna be
baby.
I think it's
Yeah.
gonna be released tomorrow. So
Perfect.
I'll give you some
Let it
hints,
rip.
and
Okay.
tease you a little bit. Another Texas guy, and doesn't play the snake.
Mm-hmm.
Matt Jackson?
No.
Is he
Is
from
it
AC
from the Dallas?
I think you guys. I gave you enough hints.
TJ?
Who?
TJ?
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, TJ.
There we go.
Danner,
That's correct.
Danny Danner. Damn, he's
Yep.
coming to Texas.
Yeah, he's
Texas. Coming to real Texas. You guys have always been the real Texas team. No,
BKIT.
no offense.
Hold it
to the
down.
AC Dallas
Well, I
fans,
mean, it
but
just
they
is
gotta
what
come
it is.
Yeah, they got to come. They got to
Yeah.
win an event. They got to take down the series champs and all that good stuff. But damn.
Yeah, I mean, it worked out. We had been talking to him, and I'm super stoked for it. I think it's going to be a great fit. And, I really like TJ, and I've already been, kind of texting back and forth with him to get to know him a little bit better. And,
awesome.
I think it's a great fit for our team. It's a great fit for the family. And, I'm really excited about it. And I know he is too. And then
his knee, he had a knee problem, right? Is that right?
Yeah, so I think it's almost been like a year that he's really been nursing his knee to make sure he was 100%, and he wasn't ready to come back onto the field until it was 100%. But he had been practicing, and I know he's practicing now.
Yeah.
And as far as I know, he's saying it feels great, and he just can't wait to get started with us. So,
dude, good for him. I'm
like
glad
I said,
to hear
I
that.
think it's getting released tomorrow. So
beautiful.
Well,
today when people, when people hear this, it'll be today.
There we go.
Yeah. So,
That's true.
and no matter what, it's getting released. Yeah. So
I think TJ already told everybody that needed to know as far as his team and whatnot. So
beautiful.
So I actually asked him if I could bring it up today, and he said that was cool. So
dope. Well, good for you, TJ. I'm sure you listen out there. Congratulations, brother, and X Factor family. We can't wait to see him in that blue and black out there next season. It'll be dope.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I have some more questions. I'm just gonna shoot it off here. So Riddle's Art, awesome account. If Lacoste did say that they would sponsor you, but you could never play front again, would you do it? You can only play the back. You can only play the back.
I'd probably get cut from X Factor, but I don't know. That's a tough question, man.
What are they sponsoring you with? Are you just getting a couple headbands, or are you like the poster boy for Lacoste?
Yeah, dude, full deal, full ride.
I need more information.
Yeah,
on that one,
I agree.
But
yeah. Well, we're gonna give you a full
too
ride.
Much fun.
Yeah, it is, dude. It's too much fun up there. All right. So also from Nodrog86, how does it feel to be one of the most underrated players that are still in the game? I don't think you're underrated because I think everybody pretty much knows.
This guy's not watching enough paintball.
Yeah.
He's not watching enough paintball.
But honestly, there was a time where you were, maybe not the top tier name, and you had to grind to make yourself known. What kind of gears did you implement into training or your mindset to get you to where you are now to be a top tier pro snake player? Some advice for the people out there.
Yeah. Again, I think, we talked about it a lot. It just, you gotta criticize yourself. You gotta be hard on yourself. And, Go Sports and the NXL providing all this footage for us. I spent a lot of time watching myself and criticizing myself, and, and hearing guys out on my team like Archie and Ryan and, the rest of the team just kind of giving me these little, like, you need to do this, you need to do this better. And really just taking it in and not taking it personally or getting upset about it or, feeling like I'm being attacked, just really just taking it in and just fixing it and continuing to get better step by step. And, there was a lot of times where, I wasn't carrying enough paint sometimes. And, you know, I noticed that from watching film and, you know, and hearing Archie out, and, you know, I'm not battling as hard because I don't have enough paint on me. And, you know, little things like that is just, you know, things that you can improve to get better. And
Yeah, you're
that's
right,
really
dude.
it.
Film is so important, because you don't see all the little nuances that are going on around you, or even things that you're doing that you're like, whoa, I did that, you know. And seeing yourself
Right.
play paintball is a game changer. So
Mm-hmm.
dude, we have paintball games in our pocket now. I can
That's
watch
right.
paintball on my phone anytime I want. When I was growing up, I would have I was like, what? Are you kidding me? We got paintball on the phone? That was never an option,
When
you
I
know?
was growing up, I would take a piece of paper in school and I would draw a makeshift field on it, and I would play like soldiers on it, you know, like
I
put
feel
little
like I
X.
did the same
Yeah.
thing.
Like I'd be like, oh, if they get into the right 50, I would like make the same hyperball field that was at my local
Dude,
field, you know?
I used to set up my basement with like little bunkers and stuff, and me and my friends would like play like little Nerf games. I
Yeah,
mean,
exactly.
any
Yeah.
chance
I
I
did that.
got to do something involved with paintball,
Yeah.
I was
Absolutely.
always into it.
Dude, I didn't know, one of our listeners, his name is Weaverton. Weave Schwab is his Instagram.
Oh yeah, that's my boy.
Oh,
Yeah, dude, he's so cool. And he actually said, yo, huge shout out to the local hero. So he's giving you a boost out there.
hell
Gotta
yeah.
love that. Yeah, he's dope.
Thank you.
Yeah, he's the man. He always is supporting us and showing a lot of love for the PTG Nation. So we appreciate you out there, brother. Absolutely.
Awesome, man.
Let's see. Does San Antonio feel like home to you? This is from Hector777. Do you feel like you can ever make the switch over to Dorito side, or are you only going to play Snake side? That was another question that he had for you.
So San Antonio is definitely a home away from home now, and mainly just because of the relationships that I've built there. And, you know, like I said, X Factor is a family, and so it's always going to feel like a home away from home for me now. As far as playing the Dorito side, I think you should ask Ryan Brand that question. I don't know if they're ready for that, you guys. Honestly, Hector, I don't think they're ready for that. You know,
that's a lot. That's a lot of smoke.
Give me another couple of years, and you know, we'll see if they'll release me over there. But
every time they try to send you Snake players over to that Dorito side, you guys don't know what to do.
It's either going to be really bad, or it might be really good. You never know.
Yeah. It's crazy how, you know, me and Marcelo, we talk about the verbiage of paintball a lot. Like, I still just kind of laugh at myself that we call it like Snake and Dorito and all these funny things. We've got to find.
We got to change that. Yeah. Well, actually, Billy, let's bring you in on this conversation too, because the season's over, and we said next year we're gonna change some of this stuff.
That's right.
The one thing, so before World Cup, Tyler, coach, and our assistant coach Vic, they all stay at my place. And there's a little 7-Eleven right here. So we went over to get some waters so we could pour a Transfuse in. And we're sitting in line and we're talking. Yeah, a little plug. We're sitting in line talking and we're talking about paintball. And Tyler's like, yeah, I think the God is really shootable. And I just kind of I look like people like, no, you can't say that. You can't say that. We cannot say that right now, you know? Like, and it's very true. Like, what if outsiders that don't understand paintball or somebody from a big company comes and they watch and they hear us on the field, they're like, kill the God, you know, like this is the lingo that we use.
Yeah.
That's probably not okay. You know, that's probably a big issue, a really big issue.
I mean, we have a bunker called Obama.
Yeah.
You know,
Obama. Exactly. We have a bunker called China. You know, we call it kill the China. That's not okay. You know, and these are just bunkers and terms that they have no connection to any of that stuff. They just they're words that we have chosen because they stand out. You can hear them well, right? And so that's really the main reason
they carry.
That's right. That's right.
But we need to find a way around that, I believe. And
totally. There's the lingo has got to change. And here's my utmost reason for it is just because I'm already at such a disadvantage playing this game of paintball. Like, there's already so many stereotypes and like connotations that are attached to paintball that any disadvantages that I'm giving myself are just setting me way, way, way back. So anything that I can do to present this thing in the best light and package it the best way I humanly can, I need to do that. And if it comes down to a couple changes in some verbiage and maybe a little shift in the style, or I don't know what it's going to take, but I don't feel like we're far off. Paintball is super entertaining and it's super fun and it's super catchy. You tell someone you're a professional paintball player, all the heads turn. They're like, what? You play paintball professionally? You know, it's like it's a really interesting thing that we do. I just think that we need to just make a couple little shifts here and there and streamline it and package it like a real professional, tight knit thing. And once we do that, I think that we got a really bright future for this game, because it's thoroughly enjoyable and it's really interesting. I mean, it's just simply interesting game that we play, you know.
I agree.
Yeah, we're not far off.
Yeah, Billy, what kind of changes would you like to see from the league?
Oh man,
now's your time.
Another hard question.
Yeah. Wish I had time to think about that one. You know,
we always say the split.
I guess.
Yeah. I think.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, what I was saying to you is the same thing. I think it's still not spectator friendly to the average person, you know. And like you just mentioned split deck. You know, if I have a family member watching and I tell them, hey, my game is on at 5 o'clock or 3 o'clock, whatever your time, and you know, and they turn it on, they see us play 1 point, we win the point, and then another team comes out. A lot of times they shut it off and they're like, oh, they won. You know, like they don't understand the split deck, you know? It's still like, still, you know, it's not spectator friendly. I would love to see it be more spectator friendly. And I would love to see, you know, Go Sports is doing a great job of what they're doing. I would love to see more of the lifestyle, you know, get out there into the world and see like what we do, you know, during these tournaments and the relationships that we have, and you know, almost like not like a reality show, but almost like a reality show. You know,
create like that skater culture,
exactly.
Right? Help skateboarding
exactly.
blow up was the culture, you know. And paintball's no different. Surf, same thing. Snowboarding, all that stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, ultimately, that's probably what I would say. I'd like to see change.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally. Give them the inside scoop. Make it to where it's like when we watched Push, you know, you felt like you got that inside scoop. It was super relatable. We always talk about creating superheroes. That's another great way of doing it. And there are a ton of amazing paintball players out there that have amazing stories that would be really entertaining and fun to watch and would boost paintball really far too. So that's definitely a good insight there. I like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that as far as the league, like split deck is the one thing, but other than that format, I think there's so many different ways that the game could work. It's all about how it gets marketed, how you put together these videos that promote the travel, the camaraderie, the weekends that are difficult, you know, like you traveling and then going back to a Monday morning job. It's like, you know, put a mask on, right? You know, it's so funny how
it's like turning into a new person.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
You know, and then you know, it's always funny to me when I look across the table and I see, you know, one of my coworkers yawning, and I'm like, well, what did you do this weekend? You know, and I'm up here, you know, wide awake, handling my business.
They didn't have their Dunkin' that morning. That's what happened.
Yeah,
that's
what happened.
They didn't have their Dunkin'.
I think that for like what you're saying with the spectator friendliness of the viewer, because really that's what it's all about. There's nothing more important than the words that we speak to each other on the field and that communication. So even if you don't have the video, just having a microphone that we can jump into and be like, oh, let's hear what Archie's talking about to Billy right now. And, or, you know, let's hear what Marcel.
We're going to have to change the lingo of what the teams use before we can do that.
Yeah. Big time.
You almost need the, you know, you almost need the head ref to have a mic too, because not everybody understands what the penalty was, you know, and Maddie's still kind of you know, Maddie's trying to figure it out himself as he's commentating.
That is so good.
They used to do that, Billy, with Paintball Access.
Yeah, they did it. They did do it, for one event. But I think they could do better than what they did.
I agree.
I love that.
Know?
I have
people. You see the flag and people that are watching, and a lot of people that are watching, at least for us, it's like family and friends that don't understand the game fully.
Right.
and they want to like it. They want to support, but they're like, I just don't really know what's going on. They see a flag, a bunch of bodies get pulled. Absolutely. That'd be so cool. Quick little, but guess what? There's no time with split deck for a ref to come on in between points and do that.
Yeah.
That's the issue.
Right.
That is the whole issue with split deck. If you get rid of split deck, you have 2 minutes to be able to cut to an instant replay and show a nasty snapshot from Billy Bernacchi. And you're like, oh, that is why he's one of the best. You know?
The problem, in my opinion, and I'm sure you guys would agree to this too, I think we need to cut down the amount of pro teams, because the reason they're doing split deck right now is because there's too many pro teams and we're running out of daylight at tournaments and they have to get all these games in. So if you cut the amount of teams, then you have more time to have,
No, I got this one.
I
see both.
I love this. I love where we're heading here. I love the fact that we have so many pro teams, but I think that there should be maybe 2 pro fields or something like that.
Oh, that's my idea, Tyler. You've been talking. I raised my hand. That's what I've been saying. You don't cut the pro teams, because having pro teams in different geographical areas are big, right, Ty? Is that what you're gonna say?
That's right. That's right.
We talk a lot, baby. We talk a lot. But it's good to have 20 pro teams. Honestly, I'd be down to have 30. In all
but just
reality,
not all on the same field.
Exactly, not all on the same field. It's like the NFL. They schedule their games accordingly. Like, you only get Sunday night prime time if you're 2 badass teams. So like, you only get on the pro field if you're gonna get views. And it should be based on views, not based on any other perception. They have the metrics to see how many views certain teams get, right?
Yeah. But does a spectator really want to see Dynasty beating up 7-0 to
no, but that's why
a divisional team,
No, you're not following. That's why they're not on the field then, right? Like, you only have the heavy hitter games on there, really.
So you're not going to be on the camera because you're playing a shitty team. So
that would
miss out on camera.
No. So look, like, the Champs Challengers thing was honestly a pretty great idea. A lot of people.
I agree. Yep.
Like, it honestly was a pretty good idea to combat that reason. And then, look, in all actuality, hey, if that's not an option, I would rather have 20 pro teams and 2 of our games against the lower ranked teams are on another field. I would rather that than what we're doing now. Even though we're going to miss out on having 2 games on the webcast, that does suck. Trust me, that's not ideal.
Right,
I would rather that than what we have now, where it's really hard to follow, because the vision that I have for having that 2 minutes in between points, man, it's like so valuable. That is
context.
Such valuable.
It's all the context of everything that's going on, and then I love that idea about the ref being able to come on, just like in any other pro sport. You got the ref, he comes on, he says, 5-yard penalty, or, like, he comes in and lets you know what's going on,
And then there's this too. Like, I don't know if the other fields are packed to the max. Maybe they are. So maybe you need a whole nother field no matter what. But look, at some point, these guys are making money, and to say that, like, they're not making money is crazy. They're making money, maybe not millions, sure, but we got to start putting some money back into the show. We have to. The show is what is going to take paintball forward. And so however we can do that. And right now, like, major props to Cena, Darren, the Ghost Sports crew, Matty Marshall, for what they're doing with such a low budget, because without them, I mean, I know that they put themselves through a ton of stress to bring us what we have now. So my question or my request isn't to them, it's to the people above them to give them more resources, because I know they know all this as well. This isn't like, you know, some genius plan. It's pretty obvious, and they know this. They just need the resources to do it. Yeah. And so I would really love to see that, because I think what we have is a game that has a ton of opportunity, especially in a day and age where video games are becoming more popular than ever. And what we do is, really, really fun, really out there. It's new, it's exciting. Shout out to Billy. He's changing his headphones. I had that issue yesterday. I was gonna tell you. I was gonna tell you too when I saw those Bluetooth ones. I was gonna say, oh, dude, like, if they start dying, just put one in the headphone.
Yeah, I'm trying to monitor my iPad battery, my headphone battery.
It's been a fun experiment, because we're always like, I wonder if the wireless will last, and there's been a couple times where we get down to like one earbud,
yeah right. That's what just happened. I was in one.
Yeah, dude. So hey, just another shout out for you from WCE. or CWE Power Paintball. Thanking
There
you
we
for
go.
the
There's my team.
CWE. Yeah, he coached them to success and the title in D3 out in Connecticut. So they're showing you some love here as well. Major shout out.
Appreciate that, boys.
Hey,
Thanks
yeah,
for
dude.
working hard.
Yep.
You said you worked in like solar and lighting. Do you do any work with Chris? He's the owner of CWE, right?
Yeah, that's how I met Chris. Actually.
Oh, wow.
Well, actually,
Okay.
no. I met Chris. He actually, but when I had a Billy Bernacchia CS1s at one time, and he hit me up to buy one, and I met him at the field, and he then got really into paintball, started a team, and then we started actually doing business together. In real life work, and then it turned into a paintball relationship also. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Awesome, man.
Dude, shout out to the New England Patriots. He's got the Patriots helmets up in.
That's right. We got
Are
TB12. We
Are you a
got
Bucks?
Tom Brady autographed and Gronk
Whoa.
autographed up
that's
there.
tight. Are you a
No
Bucks
way.
fan now then?
You gotta be. I mean, if they're playing the Patriots, no, but
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
you
So all right.
I like
but
that.
yeah,
I like
of course.
that.
I'm gonna root for I have an NFC team now.
Yeah.
I always had an AFC team. Now I have an NFC team too.
I like that. That's
I
tight.
like it, dude. That's
Billy,
awesome.
where's your favorite? What's your favorite travel story? Like traveling is one of the coolest things that we get to do as professional paintball players. It is honestly, to me, it's the most memorable in all the stuff is traveling overseas and the moments of the times like with your really close friends.
Yep.
In foreign lands. You have a couple stories for us?
Yeah, definitely. I've traveled a lot and I'm blessed to do so. And, when I first started traveling, I was, so focused on just, playing paintball that I didn't really stay extra time or, get out and see. I was just kind of hotel, field. And I didn't really get to experience any of, where I was going and see anything. But one of my favorite trips actually was with Dynasty. It was with Ryan and Yosh and Alex when I was on the team, and we went to South Africa, and we had so much fun. Other than just playing paintball, we went and saw all these like different parks, like lion parks, monkey parks, and just saw all these like cool animals, and every day was something new, and we were throwing paintball in the mix. So it was that was probably one of my favorite trips.
Those guys are the best, dude.
They are. Dynasty knows how to have fun, dude. Yeah. I know. I really thoroughly missed them at World Cup. It was really weird not having that energy there, but I could. They were still there.
They were
though.
there.
You know what I mean? Like I could still feel the energy from them. Yeah, those guys are the best, man. Great times.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So they kind of showed me how to live. I don't even think I knew what how to save my miles at that time. Like Ryan taught me all that. Like Ryan was like, dude, you're doing all this traveling and you're not getting upgrades and stuff. And I was like, oh, he helped me set all those accounts up. Now I get on a plane. If I'm not sitting first class, I'm pissed off.
Yeah.
That's turned into
awesome.
a little Ryan over here.
What airline do you fly?
I fly Delta. I switched to American.
Okay.
I did switch to American for a year, but I kept my status with Delta only because the flight times for San Antonio were messed up, but I prefer Delta.
Yep. That's like Marcelo, the Delta man over here.
Yep.
Delta's the way to go.
Yeah.
Yep. Southwest, baby. Southwest. I got all the status.
You getting them upgrades?
Yeah, dude. I got that A-list anywhere.
Yeah.
They say I could sit anywhere.
I love it. Like I said, I don't mind Southwest too much. It's not that bad, especially for the
You get
short
do you get reclining seats on that?
Yeah, they have,
Nice.
and they still give you some peanuts, so you get some of those.
Oh, okay.
You just have to hold your luggage on your lap.
Yeah,
There you go.
You have to hold
That's
your
the
luggage
only
on your
thing.
lap.
It's fun. The new planes, they're great. The ambiance, it's a great experience. Get on Southwest.
Okay.
Live it up.
All right. Let's
yeah.
check them out.
Yeah, dude. Live it up.
Well, damn, dude. Ty, you got any more questions?
No, this poor guy, it's going to be 11 o'clock coming up
Yeah.
here soon on the
Is
East
it really?
Coast. So.
10:09.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, dude. But
There you go.
Billy, you are an absolute legend in the game. You've done a tremendous amount in the paintball landscape for an inspiration for a lot of people out there who want to do what you do on that side of the field, playing top tier snake level paintball. So thank you for, always keeping your heart in the game and for doing everything that you have for the league and for pro paintball as a whole. Appreciate you,
Absolutely,
brother.
man. Thank you guys for having me. And I really appreciate that. That means a lot. And,
Yeah, dude.
I'm glad that, I'm touching so many people out there too, because, in the end, that's what it's all about is, people around you and stuff.
Well,
so
you have a ton of people that look up to you. I guarantee it. I know there's a lot of young players that are cutting their teeth right now trying to become a snake player, and they watch you and they want to emulate what you have done in your career, right? You have a very successful career. So the thank you is from us actually for coming on the show and and sharing your story with the listeners. And dude, we'll have to have you back on for sure. But
I appreciate it. And
there's
definitely.
If there's any last thing, where can all listeners keep up with some stuff? You got to start posting more for them,
Yeah, I'm gonna start working on that.
There we go.
I'm a busy guy, but I'm gonna give the people what they want. But follow me on Instagram, Billy Bernacchia. Look for my signature series JT stuff to come out soon. I'll drop it on my Instagram when it's ready.
Right.
Thanks to all my sponsors. Planet Eclipse, JT, Nike, Dye. The rest of you guys, I love you. Alex Martinez for sure. My team X Factor. I'm really excited to start another year.
Yeah, dude. I know. 21. Let's
go.
What
do you think's gonna go on in 2021? I got to ask you that real quick. What's gonna happen? We playing Vegas? We getting there?
I wish I had a crystal ball, but I'm gonna keep the good vibes out there and say we're playing.
I like it. Right. We're jamming.
Well, thankfully we played the most socially distanced game in the world, and we have the greatest opportunity for paintball.
Absolutely.
Dude, paintball has a golden opportunity right now with the fact that we don't have contact. Like you're not running into somebody, we're able to effectively
you're not passing a ball.
Yeah,
we can
Yeah, dude, we can be safe with this, which is a huge opportunity for us. So let's keep doing our part and staying safe and having fun and playing a lot of paintball. And we can't wait to see you, hopefully at a practice or an event soon, Billy.
100%, man. Can't wait to see you guys too.
I know, brother. You stay safe out there, all right?
Thank you. You too.
All right, bud. Peace out.
All right. Peace.
What an amazing episode. What an amazing dude. Billy Bernacchia is he's awesome. I've gotten to know him a little bit more over the last couple years, especially the last year. We did some coaching against each other like we talked about on the show. And so I got to spend some time with him outside of being on the other side of the field, competing, actually playing against each other. And he's just an awesome ambassador of the sport. Doesn't do it for the fame. Doesn't even do it for the money. He's just in it because his heart's in it. And what a cool story. We really are thankful for him coming on and sharing that with us. And he also had some really good insight. I hope you guys as listeners got a lot of value out of this episode. I know I learned some stuff too. I think that's what's really great about this show is each one I am learning. I'm constantly learning. It's great. I know Tyler feels the same exact way. If you guys did enjoy it and you love PTG and you love play the game, you guys can head over to our website, ptgpaintball.com, and check out our merchandise. We have our Patreon over there if you want to become a supporter of the show. We upload some videos, some informative stuff on there for our Patreons, and we're very thankful for you guys. You guys are the lifeblood of this whole thing. We really appreciate all the support. Another thing that I don't think we've talked about is all the support we had at World Cup. We are so thankful for you guys. Listeners, you guys are truly, from the bottom of our hearts, you guys are the best. As we were walking onto the field, you guys are yelling, play the game to us, and that's just, it's unbelievable. I can't wait to see what we can do with this thing, what kind of community we can build, what kind of culture we can build moving forward. It really is amazing. It's fantastic. So thank you guys so much. Our website was brought to you by Rusty Glaze. He, if you guys didn't know, when he's not coaching professional paintball team San Diego Dynasty, he also does web design for a lot of the paintball community. And if you own a field or a store, or maybe you're an entrepreneur and you need a website, he is your guy. Head over to conceptpursuit.com and get some more information, see if it fits your needs. But all right, I'm going to stop talking your guys' ear off. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We really appreciate it, and we will see you very, very soon.